little step was like going down, or like like going down a roller coaster and then hitting like a curve. You feel like that. It's like I was constantly falling. Like I know I'm gonna deal with it a little bit just from like because I got a bad leg, but it's not. It wasn't easy. Oddly enough, driving was fine. It was just getting up and out of stuff that was a little crazy. Alright, so we're doing Mega Man again today. I've been playing Megaton Musashi as a break from Elden Ring DLC, and it's a really good game, but man, it is not like simple shonen like you think it would be, because there's a lot of like darker. It reminds me almost of Persona 4, where there's just suddenly darker stuff going on underneath everything. It's a very good game. I guess it started as a free-to-play game in Japan that failed, and then Level 5 moved it into a real game. And this is like there was like two free versions, and then there was another like a regular release, and then there was the Ultra release, which has like all the content from everything and extra stuff and story added to it. It's weird because the game has a battle pass, but it's completely pointless because all you're doing is earning stuff you get from the missions anyway. It's like, and it also keeps talking about do this to your Switch, and it's like I'm playing on the PC. But it's been a good game. It's kind of the mecha combat hasn't gotten too complicated yet. I just wish it had the Gao Gaigar crossover, but they didn't have very many. They had like Grand Kaiser and Get a Robo crossover, and I think that was it. And they had Corone from, I guess, one of the whatever they're called, VTubers.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Like Dog Girl or something, yeah.
Yeah. Big retro gamer.
I know she shows up in a lot of stuff. Although you have to buy her with real money, same with like the other victory poses and all that, which is kind of dumb. But it used to.
I know. Pink Kitty. Yeah, Pink Kitty Rose has a VTuber avatar now, I think. Yeah, shoot. I need water.
There's a few people that.
There's water right here. Water!
I don't know.
We're gonna have this bottle in here.
VTuber avatars are like hellishly expensive too. Like, I was like, I wonder how it costs to get a simple VTuber thing. Like just a simple VTuber thing for myself, but it was like, like $4,000 is like no. And it's like simple stuff. You gotta be rich to get one of those now. Is the stream live? Let me see. It says it's live. Twitch is being dumb. I just want to make sure my moderation thing is open so I can deal with it. Yeah, it's good.
Yep, you're good. Alright, connecting.
We should be connected.
Good times. Let's go! We're still in Tier 9 here.
Oh, the food court, yeah. The glaunch. Tacos. I almost got tacos today, but the Taco Bell tacos are up to like $3.47 now, I think. No, it was like $3.97 for a basic taco from Taco Bell. Once it used to be like $1.50. I was like, yeah, I'm not touching that.
Mom made carnitas today, so we're gonna have tacos tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I gotta make carnitas again. The problem is with my stove not really working. I can't crisp them as much as I like to, but we'll see. Oh
yeah, this level. No, actually, maybe. I don't know. Welcome, Bastion. 5 devious puzzle rooms.
Oh no, that's right. This is the one that's supposed to take forever.
You don't have to start this room, but it'd be best if you did. Or have you already come to beg him for my help? You don't need to sound so proud of yourself. It's the first one. It's not meant to be hard. Let's check it out. What? No ice wall allowed? Oh, there's the ice wall.
Well, that's kind of like... I didn't know that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, you got through it. Somehow. I'm not sure what you did, but you got through it.
I just slid on top of the ice.
Okay, now how do we break this? Oh! That thing does, There we go. Alright. This looks like something we would need to... we need to somehow save Ice Wall to this point.
Oh, jeez. That seems like a pain in the butt. How did you...
I don't know. Key. What is that object? Oh. Okay, no. Ah, we use it there. Alright, let's look for a place where we can use this, I guess. We can use it here. There was something we could break over this way with break dash. We probably need the magnet enemy to... No, it's just here. Okay. It's the key. Oh! Oops.
But we kind of need this to get over here. That's annoying. So how do we get that then if
I don't know.
we need this dude here? Well, I don't think we can hit that switch now that you killed the thing.
Oops.
Oh, I didn't see why there's a skip for this, alright?
Alright, well.
Agla. I don't think I can do anything there. Not co-op designed again. Eh? Kind of a bit annoying.
Hmm. I got nothing.
It seems to be a case of puzzle makers not like, again, when you like over design something.
Huh.
Okay.
No way you can get over there now.
And I think I screwed up the puzzle, maybe. Just the fact that you can screw this up so this is kind of ridiculous. Like, these puzzles are kind of like, I don't know. They seem, again, overly like designed for some reason. Like,
You use tornado jump blow to jump up there to get the ice wall.
I guess, yeah. But then, how do I get this? It's just a thing, like...
You killed a drill thing without the light trident. It should be vulnerable from behind, I would think.
No, it's just bouncing off. Plus, I can't get... how am I supposed to hit that light trident thing?
With the light trident.
But I can't get the light trident over there.
If you don't pick it up until you've already...
But then I can't get it over here.
You use the break dash to get over here.
You get the break dash from the drill thing that you can't...
I bet you can kill it without the light trident.
It was bouncing off, I already tried.
It was bouncing off the front.
It was bouncing off the back, too.
You can get out now.
How did it have anything to do with the key, though?
Mm.
I'm guessing that's where one of the tokens is? Well, don't go over there, because then it...
Yeah,
This is-
probably.
Again, like, overcomplicated puzzles for this sort of thing. Okay. How many of them are there? Oh, we have to beat them all to progress. Ay. It's kind of bad because like you mess up even a little and that's over. You have to redo everything. Like I probably messed that up. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. I don't particularly know what I'm doing here, but it seems to be working, so... I won't complain. Key get... I don't think I can get back up here if I went down there. Nope. Hard. I guess I just have to go over that way anyways? Okay. Well, there's the thing.
What would even hit that? Tornado blow?
I'd have to come around from the other way. I'd have to come around from the other way for it to hit it, but...
It's surrounded by reflect blocks, though.
Not on the left-hand side. But if I hit that, then I can't get up here to get this. I don't get these puzzles in this level here. I had to go through down there with the bubble, it looks like. But then, how do I get back up? I don't like these puzzles. I really don't. The token things, this is just kind of bleh.
I mean, we could skip it instead of solving them all.
See, it bounces off the back.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're putting gravity into this too? Lovely. What do you got? You got ice. Of course you do. course, it doesn't help that you can only get on, like, some of these things once. Like now, I might be stuck. But yeah, I think I'm just stuck.
Okay.
Again. I didn't want to hit the checkpoint. Where are you at?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't respawn.
It's what? How? What? Okay, that's weird. Yeah, it doesn't even have you on here as if it's multiplayer. The heck? Now, there you are. What? What? I guess the level broke the multiplayer?
I guess.
Ugh.
Alright, let's see what the judges had to say about this. Flashman's gold favorite.
Wow, okay.
So,
such a contrast to other judges.
so this took me a couple days to clear 100% of my blind run. That isn't a good thing. The concept is interesting, don't get me wrong. 5 distinct puzzles revolving on the weapons, and you have to pick and choose the right route to succeed, and it's very different. I got more use out of the weapons here than I have anywhere else because I'm a buster snob and not afraid to admit it. And it was often satisfying to figure out the complete solutions. I particularly appreciate that there's no real death threats. It makes the level into something purely cerebral, which is a very different experience that's occasionally enjoyable. Unfortunately, Mega Man is not a puzzle game. It's an action game first and foremost, which makes the puzzle aspects very awkward. As stated previously, this took a couple days for me to clear. Longer than any other level in the contest, and I fully expected this to be a bit Marmite, meaning love it or hate it. A single mistake on any solution can force you to restart the entire puzzle, and sometimes the mistakes aren't what you'd expect. In particular, killing Magfly while it's carrying you can trap you in midair, a soft lock that forces you to restart. Additionally, I've somehow scrolled one of the keys off screen at least once, and that third puzzle has a very unorthodox bypass that I can tell wasn't intended. Beyond that, it's all puzzles, with no real break for any action. This is definitely to the level's detriment, as folks aren't playing Mega Man for puzzles. I even go so far as to say it doesn't belong in a contest like this. Wait, Dragonfogel made this?!
Who?
Dragonfogel, he's like a top Drod player.
Oh, okay. I guess it's definitely a puzzle over then.
Yeah. Although there is more than one part that's more akin to Mega Man Standard, the weapon block boss. It's certainly an unusual boss, but it has a decent concept and it was a fun fight overall. The only real issue I had was that the last 2 phases seemed to fire just a smidge too often. But considering they're attached to the more defensive weapons, it's not a significantly important detail. Now, of course, the boss isn't the focus of the level. It's there to be the ending, first and foremost. This is a very bold level to make, and to some degree I appreciate it for what it is. However, this time it's a bit too bold. To the point it feels very out of place. I wouldn't be surprised if the scores for this level are all over the place. This is easily one of the most unconventional stages in the whole contest. That in and of itself doesn't automatically make it bad, though. Some variety here and there can make it a long way to make your stage stand out. That said, while this level is pretty memorable, I don't think it's for the right reasons. While I'll commend the attempt here to make a full-on puzzle stage, the execution creates a very mixed to frustrating experience. If you're going through each of the rooms with the goal of just getting to the end, you probably won't have too much trouble. Most of the solutions are pretty clear-cut, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have at least a bit of fun figuring out how to get through some of these rooms, especially the first and second ones. While those moments can be fun, going for the tokens is another matter entirely. Honestly, the process of getting the tokens in the stage reminds me a little too much of certain point-and-click adventure game puzzles. You know the one. You kind of often have very obtuse solutions just to stretch out the game's runtime. You often think you have the correct solution, only to suddenly realize it's not right, meaning you need to redo most, if not all, of the room again just to give it another try with a different method. Incidentally, this is what also led me to discover a bug with the third room, where using a retry button gives you the key as you warp back in.
It's like a bypass.
The comparisons to old school point-and-click adventures don't end there, so tokens share yet another issue with them. Once you know how to do the puzzles, you can probably breeze through them without much of a second thought. To note, I'm not saying I would prefer a set of randomized puzzles, because that would be even more nightmarish than what we have here already.
Oh, I never posted the link. Oops.
The stage had more open-ended puzzles with multiple solutions might have worked out a bit better in this case, but that's just my take on it. Finally, we have the end boss. It doesn't really feel well put together, to be honest. The way it fired out enemies' projectiles really screwed with my head at first, because I see those and my first instinct is to shoot them, given the obvious. It's also not to mention the way it fires them out can look incredibly janky at times too. This is especially noticeable when it fires out Ben Ks who have no animation and are flipped sideways for some reason. Overall, while I get what you're going for here, I can't say I enjoy it that much. There's some potential in the weapon-based puzzle elements here, that's for sure. But the trial and error nature of it, especially with the tokens, really hurts it in the end. Wow, the contest beneath. Neat concept for a level. I'd like me some puzzles, and puzzle-oriented levels are...
She's played Drod before with that title, or...?
Probably. That is certainly a Drod reference. I like me some puzzles, and puzzle-oriented levels are certainly a nice change of pace in a contest setting. It's nice that the weapons are infinite, and the rooms you are laid out in a way you always have a way back to the start and teleporter to reset, with a generous health refill as well. Little touches like that definitely help a lot in the long run, which levels that expect the player to be stuck playing for a while. Unfortunately, the level is very heavy on the trial and error side. A lot of the enemies aren't always clear with how they interact with the special weapons. Examples such as the Ben K's projectile interacting with the switch in Room 4. Room 3's tucked away in the corner water shield block that has no reason to be there, as it doesn't have the impact the order of how you get the weapons, other than being a mean gotcha moment. Other times it can be uncertain if some of the interactions were intentional or not, like with Room 3's Fan Fiend. It's still possible to kill him with the water shield without breaking the break dash block, and in Room 5 you can kill the Ben K with the Buster if you get really close to him. There also seems to be an engine-related bug where you can switch back to the Mega Buster with both weapon switch buttons pressed down, even though it's supposed to be disabled, which can get in the way of problem solving. With every room other than the first requiring at least 5 brains, this makes it very taxing to get through the level.
Octopus.
Though partially it is my tiny monkey brain in general. It probably would have made a few later head scratches list only to come into it. The stage would provide some more minor puzzle rooms that can also serve as tutorials for the less obvious puzzle elements that were discussed. On the aesthetic side of things, the lack of backgrounds on the puzzle rooms makes the level feel bland and incomplete. Music choice is good as the non-intrusive thinking music, though the slightly misaligned loop point can be somewhat distracting. The boss fight is pretty basic and quite silly, which is a good thing after the players spent much time in those puzzle rooms. It ends the level on a more pleasant note. I love special weapons. I love puzzles. I am absolutely the target audience here. But as a judge, I need to consider how well this level teaches the basic skills and thought process is required to solve every puzzle. I need to acknowledge an accumulation of little technical issues, e.g. objects that look identical but behave differently, I need to recognize that my first playthrough, while thoroughly enjoyable, lasted 60 plus minutes, and 5 points of my fun score depend on how necessary a skip teleporter is. Fortunately, niceties are everywhere, from automatic health refills to a helpful but verbose hint system with plenty of character. Rooms can be tackled in any order and easily reset. I'm massively impressed at how the level safeguards against almost everything a player might do to break it. The only thing missing, it's a big one, is a way of tracking which rooms have been completed. Pleasantly minimalistic graphics keep the focus on the puzzles. The hub and puzzle rooms have totally appropriate music, and although I would have liked a different and properly looped track for each room to keep the atmosphere fresh. I'm also bummed that the boss music isn't also in the Mega Man 7 and 8 style. The puzzles make up for any shortcomings, though, with outstanding use of the assets involved. I like that more complicated solutions are required to reach the tokens. There are some especially great moments with Tornado Blow, Water Shield, Ice Wall, and Fever Bubbles. The boss is passable, but I'm not sure if the level even needs one. It's hard to top the satisfaction of solving a series of creative, mind-bending puzzles. As a judge, I will tell you that I've given you the high score I can justify based on my interpretation of the rubric. As a player, I will tell you that the best parts make this my favorite level in the contest, and the rubric can take a hike. Note for anyone playing the stage using the accessibility options I use. Turn them off for this stage and this stage alone. Well, this is an interesting case. A Marmite one, as it were. I can see some people absolutely loving this stage, and I can see some people absolutely hating it with the passion of 1,000 suns. I honestly kind of love it, at least the puzzles and concept, but I think it is hurt by the context in which it lies. Much like everyone who's decided they wanted to submit a Metroidvania as part of a contest compilation, this really does feel it's the wrong place to put a concept like this. As a puzzle stage, it's hard to note specific things without giving it all away, but I will praise this. Your puzzle design is on point, these are really clever, and you can clear the standard progress puzzles with intuition, once you understand what each room is asking of you. And getting the Trickster tokens really requires out-of-the-box thinking. Honestly, I had fun with this, and I really think you have something here.
I mean, getting through is the problem. It's just
Yeah.
thinking about getting the tokens and all that is just a pain in the butt. Sweetie purr.
The boss is pretty unique too, and a good cap to the end of the stage. An improvement would have been to have smoother transitions between phases. It's very easy to just get bodied by the bosses as it switches attack patterns and move into position, often where you are standing, and thus unfairly conks you. Maybe the hit invulnerability should have gone both ways here. Would have greatly improved an otherwise fun if simple boss. If what's here had an entire game experience tailored to it, such as having the stages and rewards disconnected, with the option to expand the weapon set and therefore the puzzles, it would make for a truly unique fan game experience, and I think it could go a long way. Plus, you'd be able to solve the biggest gripe I have with this stage. Having to do the entire sequence of puzzles in one sitting. The level lasts a lot of the player, and is a rather draining experience to clear it all. This is not a small gripe. It has implications throughout the level and its pacing, fun factor, and I think severely hurt it. Finally, it's possible to get yourself softlock in a few spots thanks to the magnet enemy. This is ultimately a minor thing, but the player should be prepared to use the retry function if needed. So the stage's score will probably end up being hurt even through the other judges, and even myself just due to context. And I honestly suspect that public opinion of the stage will be all over the place too. So is it a good level? Yes it is, but this was probably not the place for it though. I think outside the context of MaGMML, this could be fantastic. I told Fogel I played his level.
No.
There are no bones in our food. I repeat, there are no bones in our food. Well, except in the fillet of phalanges, but we're upfront about that one. Anyway, would you like to try a new McRib cage? I love flipping burgers with my feet! It's okay, I wash them. The burgers, that is. Wouldn't want the health inspector thinking I'm unsanitary. It's hard work keeping a soda pop carbonated. Do you prefer leaded or unleaded? McWiley's. Oh! Here we are, doing a thing. Hey, it's Tri-Castle! I'd offer to sell you a sack of sliders, but I can't get those two to stop bickering and start cooking. Business is hard enough already. Nobody knows we're here aside from that Russian scientist and his daughter. Our slogan is buy 'em by the sack, but maybe we should change it to buy 'em for the sacks. No, you buffoon. I said hoagie, not hero. What kind of idiot doesn't know the difference?
Oh, I got yelled at about that on the phone too, because people from New York and New England have like 4 different names for subs, and subs, and then they say, no, it's not a sub, we want a grinder. Yes, like that. Grinders and hoagies and heroes, like, it's the same thing! Tell me about it.
I don't care what you said. We're ordering grinders for lunch tomorrow, and that's final.
So I just randomly found white Tri-Castle, okay. Oh no, Pepsi Man again!
I was pulled off of kitchen duty when the management realized I forgot to put out trash bins. I'll incinerate anything you give me, so please allow me to handle your garbage so I can get back to cooking your food.
Oh, that's the Japanese like composter pots that they have. They get them in their kitchen for like meats and normally not stuff you don't throw in regular compost.
What do you mean Nick Wiley's is cash only? That's it. I'm going to Jolly Chibi. Beat the Security System by Dr. Novocaine.
Uh-oh, Shinryu did not like this at all.
Shinryu gives 30s to everything.
Oh no!
Death Lasers only in vertical sections. All loads only damage a train. Music by Rutschet 1.
Holy good day! Ow! Uh-oh. Oh no!
Go!
Well, that was a long time to go, apparently. Got both of us, even though I waited a little. Right, look at...
Hi, Game Face.
Ow! Ow, 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 ow.
1, 2,
ow,
3, go. Oof!
No!
This is gonna lag me the heck out.
I got a sweetie handicap going on.
I know.
Again, with grabbing my arm.
Handycat. They are both custom characters.
Oh, somebody's on your thing?
Yep.
Yep, both custom. I spent quite a bit of time making the Tiger Kid.
1, 2, okay. Flubbergubber! Go, go, giga, gaga! You did it. Giga, go, go. Take a look.
In a book.
Left, right, left, right.
Left, right, yes.
Huh.
Oh, I thought we were actually going through the left, right holes.
Footholders and lasers. Okay. Oof!
Good again there with no. Why didn't it take damage?
Whoops!
Yeah, this sprite took me a couple days to make. 2, 3 days, I think.
Susie's just a regular Rui recolor.
I did more work into the Ruiz than just copying over. I had to do a lot of redrawing and drawing custom sprites for the Ruiz too, because they didn't have stuff that covered a lot of the like various Mega Man style things.
Oh, gotcha.
Go away.
Take a look.
The bike. Right, left.
Alright. Go, go, go! Yes! 10 seconds to die!
Ow!
That's
Can't no damage run this level, that's for sure. Uh oh.
oops.
Not this again. Oi!
Doggo.
Hot dog, go away! Owie! This is a really rude.
Star token. I am lagging the heck out. Yeah, the skip teleporters are there for a reason.
There was one for this level?
No.
Yeah.
Quick vendor made a light hour. Please do not introduce strong wind currents into the chamber. Thank you.
That out of yes.
Lol.
What is going on? Why am I constantly looking up? What is going on? Why was I constantly looking up?
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
That was weird. Constantly looking up.
Short, sweet, and to the point. That's the best way to describe this level. I admit, this is a pretty fun security system with some of the most interesting and fair force scenes I've seen in a while. I found myself really liking the take a look segments, and while it completely invalidates any kind of perfect run, the Hyoi battle was an interesting idea. Props are to Yashichi after that fight, considering... And we might be able to award no-hit runs through some dev shenanigans anyway. Rainy Turtleoid's rain didn't count against you, after all. It was a little strange to explain how the lasers work through the signs, since you had to avoid them all anyway, so... I think the level would work just fine without. Unfortunately, the rest of the level felt a bit underdeveloped. The footholder room was great, a nice break from the fast pace everywhere else. But I feel like the additional assets in the sweep and chase rooms had a smidge more to offer. The level also has some very non-distinct aesthetics, although perhaps that's to the gameplay's advantage since they don't distract. Of course, I can't complain too much about the underutilized assets, as the force beams more than make up for it due to their variety of scenarios. Top it off with a silly joke of a boss fight, and this was a good time. I hope to see more from you. For a level that heavily features force beams, this was surprisingly easy. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I still wouldn't really call this a great stage. The main thing I noticed is that this level is very short. I can sort of understand why that is, given there's only so many setups you can do with force beams. That being said, however, the name of the level is Beat the Security System. While force beams seem like a no-brainer to use for that type of level theme, I definitely think this should have amounted to more than just a force beam obstacle course. It feels needlessly detrimental and limiting to have a type of stage theme that could easily have had more going on. Focusing less on what could have been, though, the actual room layouts aren't too bad, I guess. I can tell there was thought put into how the player would face and progress through each stage. That being said, there wasn't really much here that stood out to me, other than maybe the first horizontal room. Dealing with the rotating force beams is a little awkward, mainly thanks to how they gradually extend. Either way, that room and the final run up to the boss were the only parts of the level that really grabbed my attention. The other segments felt either too basic, the vertical rooms, or too boring, wading through the footholder room. On that note, I don't see much of a point in the take-a-look rooms. Even if you bypass them without looking at the lasers positions, the vertical segments are so basic it's very unlikely for you to die in them. Not to mention there's a checkpoint before and after both of them, plus the lasers give you plenty of time to get out of the way. Somebody missed the point of those rooms!
Yeah, to show the secrets.
The last thing to mention here would be the boss, which is basically just multiple quick men. At first, I was a little concerned it wouldn't be possible without Tornado Blow, as per suggested by Stein beforehand. Thankfully, the level design here doesn't really encourage use of that weapon, so you're very likely to still have ammo for it by the time you reach the boss. If you don't, though, the quick men are weak to every single weapon, with the exception of Thunder Beam. So overall, good job on making it so the player can't get stuck at this part. It does end up making the end of the stage a bit of an anticlimax, but I do think that's the least of the stage's issues. Intruder alert! Blue bomber in base! The stage gives me quite a chuckle. Honestly, not meant to be taken seriously, but I still appreciate some of the thought that went into the design. Certainly a unique take on a quick manish stage where the main obstacles are its rotating lasers. They're manageable in the sense of having consistent safe zones, though it'd definitely be improved if the safe zones are more clearly defined. Especially during a few of the chase sequences. I really like the little preview screens on where the lasers are actually going to come before you actually interact with the real rooms. Just a chance that the rooms turn out to be very simple. I feel like that would have allowed for more complex room layouts with the previews there. The footholder segment, unfortunately, doesn't really work with how little room it gives you to work with, while fast enemies from off-screen continuously ambush you. If there had been one more footholder along the ride there, or a different type of drop enemy that unleashed a large spread of rock debris upon you, then the section probably would have been a bit more manageable. That was a good ending with the 5 quick men. That really got me laughing for a while. There's a curious dichotomy between amateur and professional design in this level. On the amateur side, the foreground tile work is repetitive. Drop shadows are absent below platforms and ceilings. Architecture and enemy spacing need a little polish. The player is repeatedly thrown into situations that expect an existing knowledge of how these enemies and gimmicks work. Laser functionality is almost entirely explained by a sign instead of by the graphics and level design. One checkpoint is placed in a room with a time-sensitive challenge that doesn't wait for the player to respawn. Furthermore, footholds bumble around inside a wall after reaching their destination. The boss gate is inexplicably locked if you avoid the hot dogs instead of destroying them. The joke boss and helicopter mini-boss, which might have worked if executed differently, needlessly preclude the option of a perfect buster run. Slowdown is a problem. On the professional side, the background tile work is interesting. Bottomless pits and secret passageways are clearly identified. Length and pacing are pretty solid, and I like how the challenges become steadily more insane and intense without ever becoming unmanageable. Lasers are used in a variety of clever, meaningful ways that take advantage of a large but carefully selected roster of enemies and gimmick platforms. I especially like the interactions of drop platforms and footholders. Token placement is just right. The music is outstanding. The low points are fixable with more practice and playtesting. The high points demonstrate the kind of creativity and design instincts I look for in a level. Let's get the biggest and worst element of your stage out of the way. It's hideous. Absolutely hideous. It even looks so bad that it makes the stage hard to play, obviously, not in a good way.
What do you mean as a critic?
I have no idea what Ace is talking about.
I'm gonna get more of the McDonald's Coke that is watered down already.
It's so hard to parse what is and isn't safe, given the nature of the force beams and how quirky their rotation is. This needed care and attention to aid the player. Whoops. That just wasn't the case. Oh yeah, it's also dull theme-wise. Oh, it uses force beams, therefore we're using quick man assets, and quick man himself shows up to the boss. Yawn. I stress this because the design of the level is legitimately pretty good. These are some damn clever and rewarding rooms. Even the tokens are pretty damn fun to collect. It rewards you for paying attention and nailing the timing down, and the room that uses footholders as protection is a fun experience. I didn't mind the areas where damage is forced, such as the mini-boss. It's not an area Mega Man messes around with, but this made sense, and the official series has made use of this gimmick before. I think you have an opportunity to work it in more, although using the same laser graphic is very... Am I hearing fireworks or something? Even the quick man fight, as a bit of a meme, it's fine. It closes the stage out in chaotic fashion, a bit too chaotic given the care and design elsewhere. It's a damn shame the aesthetics here are just, wow, utterly dreadful. It hurts the stage. I must stress that fact because, my word, it hurts the stage a ton. Aesthetics matter. This is probably up there with the worst stages in terms of graphics, and it can make many of the challenges actively harder to parse what you're supposed to do. What is Ace talking about? And then the level design itself is actually pretty good. That's a crying shame. It really is. The aesthetics were fine.
Yeah, even adding a little sugar to it doesn't fix that water down.
There was nothing wrong with the aesthetics, Ace. Like, seriously.
Dr. Pepper, I can't even taste that.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I have no idea what Ace is talking about. My daughter has been staring blankly at me the entire meal. She won't even speak. Is she upset or sick, perhaps? Hello, Cerberus, man. Never in my life did I consider a food court would become my greatest nemesis. The overflowing trash cans, the grease stains on the floors and walls, the stale bread. Can't believe I'm saying this to you, but I may have found an evil greater than you or Dr. Wily. Oh hey, it's boss time.
Is it? It's down here.
A way back. Let me tell you, I was super disappointed by this food court. Never been to one before, you know. But I had to learn the hard way that fast food didn't mean what I think it meant. Another plan down the drain. Oh well, at least this escalator is fun. Wonder how long I can keep riding it before I get yelled at by security. I have the sentient gray goop they use to make burger patties at McWiley's. 3% more delicious than non-sentient gray goop. That's just the way back. Told you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if that was the thing, that opening area. Wait. Look who's down there.
Kenny.
To the right. Looks like, I was gonna say Sans, but...
Bastion dug around in the trash can. Well, let's see here. There's a chick inside, but Bastion didn't come here to pick up chicks. It's an Earthbound trash can. By Ganio.
What will this boss be? What?
Ronald McDonald! Riley McWiley. Oh, what a horrible day! I was preparing our stoves for the big tourney cook-off. Next thing I know, the whole place is on fire. No humans inside, but what should we do?
Go out and get some steamed hams? I don't know.
That's a wonderful idea!
Bye. That's
not Bastion!
Can't see a thing in the smoke. Obviously not.
Well, at least I don't have to breathe.
What? What?
Ah, we meet again, Bastion.
I'm just jogging in the corner, don't mind me.
We do?
We do? I mean... Oh, it's bad box art Mega Man in the background.
Okay.
Mega Man 1, Mega Man.
You don't remember me? I'm Pyre Woman. Pyre. Rings a bell? Sorry, I fought a lot of Robot Masters. I get mixed up sometimes. You'll have to make sure to burn this into your memory. Man, there wasn't any money in there. Why are you looking for money? I just said to go burn the inside. No, you said to go inside and take care of business. Oh, hey, Pyre Man, is this your big sister? I am not his sister! Why does everyone keep saying that? It's like everyone thinks I spontaneously popped up out of nowhere. Because he did, yesterday, in fact. No, you popped up yesterday! Now, if you want to spontaneously combust instead, I can arrange that. Why are you two even here?
Why isn't Susie talking as much?
Ernest Willis run short of temper on the success of the McWiley's restaurant chain. So we decided to downsize them on a global scale. No, he said he was worried they were stretching too thin. You were the one that immediately jumped to arson as the solution. Did I even know Dr. Wily has nothing to do with McWiley's? What was that? Nothing. Anyway, I don't see how burning a single restaurant will tear down the franchise. You want to see how your franchise fares once he burned you down? Come on, Baldy, let's blaze him. Ooh. Gotcha! Uh-oh. What? Oh! These are platforms.
Oh, well, that would be nice to know that beforehand. I mean, if I would have known that, I can't see a thing. Yes, so at least it's...
And we're out of tornado. Somebody forgot to have a cutscene skip. That
slide timing is really tight, considering I could frickin' perfectly dodge in Monster Hunter, just a tiger dodging an Elden Ring. Ah, this is hard to tell with 2 players.
There's too much going on screen and it's lagging the heck out of Parsec.
Ow.
We're out. Hold on, what? Time out. What do you mean we're out? We're out of
Out
fuel.
of fuel. Oh no.
We were at full tanks when we left. Yes, but someone needed to fill up the car. Why didn't you go get gas when I asked? Because it was an electric station. You still use fossil fuels where you come from? You dense idiot! Hothead. Chrome Dome. Burnout. That's it! Yay!
I'll just be on my way. Yoink.
Bastion, hit that yoinky sploinky! Please!
Oh, another call. Maybe something has come up.
Ah, Bastion, quick to respond, I see.
Oh, Dr. Light. For a moment I thought Dr. Wiley called me. Wouldn't be hard for him to do, you know, considering you gave him my phone number.
Oh, I see now why Albert wanted me to call you instead. Listen, security picked up some suspicious activity outside the hotel. Some strange devices left outside. They're disposed of pretty easily, but an extra hand could be useful.
Dr. Regal is going to show his face again.
I wouldn't be surprised. Regardless, you should meet us outside the hotel. And make it quick. Put the tournament on hold for the time being. I'm probably just hoping we won't have to call you a second time. Let's not make him mad.
I need to change my phone number after the tournament, not just because of Wiley.
Yeah, Proto Man. We've been visiting the hotel frequently. I expect more areas will open up to pick up ranks. New people will also turn out to see a tournament's progress. Have you even seen your rivals there? Do have been starring at the Limestone Pagoda. Now you can rebattle foes you previously defeated. Arenas. Legs go.
The rave.
Ah, Bastion, just in time.
Wait, did the same portal entrance again?
It would seem that our opponent has a predictable calling sign. Oh, you detestable hag. I assure you, I am far from predictable.
Detestable hag? Isn't that your dad?
Behold!
Lakota, please calm down. Isn't that the Splatoon? That's Splatoon 1 boss, isn't it? What the hell is this?
That's,
Stop! Even more cringe? No! No!
That,
No!
the top of... The top of that machine is Laser Man's laser cannons.
That's the DJ Octopus or whatever, Octavio or something from... I think that's DJ Octavio's machine from Splatoon 1 mixed in too. Oh,
I'm trying to listen to the music. I can't tell if it's Dicey Dungeons or not. It is! Greetings, feeble home slices. Do my diabolical freestyle impress, or do your tastes I need to repress?
Immediately cease. What is wrong with you?
Dare I ask what's up with a ridiculous new look? I thought it would be appropriate to reinvent myself after we got off to a false start. But now that I've stopped to think about it, being hip and cool hardly seems evil.
You were being cringe. That was not either hip nor cool.
Enough of this. You know, considering your reputation, I was expecting the man himself to be a little less eccentric, I suppose. That's the nicest way to put it.
Not that different from Dr. Wily.
Don't you dare compare me to this bumbling tryhard. Regardless, Dr. Regal, I'm giving you 30 seconds to explain yourself before I have security lock you up. I don't suppose you have any more party popper reality cores to show us? Bah, I've decided I have no need for that device anymore. It's gone long out of style, don't you agree? This is in no way because I can't get the core to work again. True evil geniuses find newer ventures once they have gotten used the fuse out of their diabolical toys. No purpose in reusing is what I say, so instead I've decided to find a new purpose. One I'm sure that you'll detest with your blackened, withered heart. And that would be? Why, to hijack your very tournament, of course. As we speak, my top-of-the-line darkness spy bots are infiltrating every corner of your gauntlets. Soon they shall seize control of all the electronics that this circus parade relies on.
Your what?
Hold on, I'm getting a call. This is Ernest Will. Are you answering a phone call instead of paying attention to me? Hey boss, we just had a security breach, but it's been taken care of now. Bunch of cheap-looking robots with gaudy black paint set off all our alarms. One of them got stuck in the pipe, and it seems every other robot inexplicably stopped. Guess they were waiting on a cue from that one. I see. Well, good work. I have a handle on the rest. Our perpetrator is kindly standing right in front of me and making a fool of himself. I'll call you back later. So, Regal, what was that about your new purpose? Bah! A minor setback. Seniors luck, or beginners unluck. Yes, that's it. Pardon me, Dr. Regal, but I seem to be getting the impression your modus operandi seems to be hijacking what's laid out for you already. I wonder why you could possibly be defaulting to that. Don't imply such things about me. Ugh, what to do? Oh, I know. My most faithful advisor and servant in this situation, would you say a tactical retreat is called for? Ask again later. Concentrate and ask again.
Magic 8 Ball.
I'll take that as a yes. Goodbye, you doomed fools. Ha 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 ha. What an utterly exhausting idiot.
He's just trying to impress his dad somehow, baby. I don't know.
Please tell me that I've never sounded this crazy in the past.
Do you want an honest answer or a nice answer?
Forget I said anything. Either way, Bastion, if that fool is intent on trying to bludgeon his way into my tournament with a rusty hammer...
You know what I noticed? The humor seems to be evolving over the years that this game took. It's like newer memes are popping up as we go on.
That's more reason to speed up your work in the gauntlets. It seems like our finalists are slowly shaping up, so I'll be hard at work making sure our grand finale is worth the wait.
Alright, then.
Oh, that was fun. I hope that fool doesn't try reinventing himself every time he shows his face. Oh no, it's, what's his face from Bible Man?
What was he even going for? I'm trying to understand his choice of clothing.
I think it was meant to invoke a specific type of subculture from the start of the millennium. All about being loud, flashy, and for lack of a better word, gaming.
I see. Familiar with this sort of stuff?
Man, I have no experience myself. I was always more of a... Hey, wait a minute! How old do you think I am?
Hard to say, actually. How long have we been doing this?
I don't want to think about this right now. Just get back to the tournament. You know, I believe I've seen that chair before. Something you can rent for parties.
The point you were making about Regal a moment ago, is that something I should know?
Oh, no. I was just giving Regal's ego a much-needed nudging. Nothing important.
Ah, okay then.
All I'll say is, some people end up creating trends with the hard work they put in. Others, they're more content to follow those trends closely for a quick drop of success. And Regal? Well, he's showing quite well which path he's following.
Imagine the other path being any better with him. Anybody knew? There's nobody here.
Kitty.
Nothing new there.
Woof! Luna! What are you doing, Poppy? Huh? Woof, woof.
You got trapped in the air vent again? I told you to stop flying around to those. It's good that you told the staff about the poor robot who got stuck in the knocked you loose, though.
Woof,
No,
woof.
quit being a pest. Sonic and Tails, what?
Yo, Bastion! I was hoping we'd run into you again. What's up?
Well, Sonic, why are you here? It's not some world-ending disaster or something. How many people does Bastion know? What the heck?
Bastion canonically knows Sonic and Tails. We have established this.
Stop!
Nah, kid, you can chill out. Tails and I just figured we'd pay a visit. It's been too long. Silver whipped us up a couple of portals. Took some convincing, but come on, we're not gonna end the world or anything. We got a couple of weird looks walking around here, but it doesn't make a big difference to me.
Pick the convenient time to show up. I'm in the middle of partaking in a big tournament.
A tournament, huh? Been through my fair share of those. Well, I'm rooting for you no matter what. And you got this either way. Once you win, maybe we can treat you to some chili dogs. Do you have those here?
Probably, but I don't really eat food. What are you talking about? Thanks for the offer, though. I mean, Bastion eats practically everything at this point, but
Oh, yeah, right. Well, anyways, nice to see you. Hey, Bastion, it's nice to see you again.
I'm glad to see you, especially since the world isn't ending right now like the last time.
Me too. How's it been going lately? Are Rush and the others doing well?
In the middle of a tournament. Rush is doing great. He's helping me out as he always does. Bastion, did you steal Rush from somewhere? What the heck? He's resting after helping me out in the town on the cruise. On a cruise ship incident. Long story. I think Tango is still sleeping. I think they just like doing that.
That's good. Man, I wish I could build support robots as complicated as the ones Dr. Light makes. The technology in this world is way beyond what we have. You think you could sneak me a free sample or something? Sushi. Susie has a couple of bombs and just a regular motorcycle. Bastion just has Rush.
I made custom Rush sprites. Because I figured he would definitely, if he had an opportunity to team up with Rush, he definitely would, so why not?
Rush is a good boy.
Maybe. That would be like interdimensional smuggling. I don't want to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, he has to protect the world border! It's okay, it's not a big deal. I'm just happy to come here during the peaceful time. Having a stressful day? Lie down on the couch. I'm a certified spine massager.
Please don't. What? Creamery, man! Tea-berry, pistachio, graham cracker, buckeye, garlic.
Nice, but always honey grams, isn't it? Just try making cinnamon or chocolate sometime.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So you're a mysterious contestant who made that announcement. You smell strong. Bastion, you can feel their energy too, right? You're the sort of robot I disdain the most. The sort of robot who causes nothing but collateral damage in pursuit of their goals. And that's the hunt. A robot who ceases to fight is a quarry well captured. The struggle is everything. You're a walking disaster zone. Robots like you remind me why I decided to participate in this contest to begin with.
I guess. Oh, Jerk is here.
Weapon tutorial? Now why would someone like yours truly need that? I already know how to use all the weapons I have. Now I have heard, you know the items the Doc Robot over there is selling? I've heard if you wear them at the weapons tutorial area, the tutorials get changed to fit. Not my thing, but a dork like you might be into it.
The Doc Robot is selling?
Parallel
weapon. Treasure tracker. Hero guitar.
Glitz Aegis. Propeller. Thermal Last Judgment.
Oh, those are...
Bro, why are you doing that? I heard a rumor that a suspicious salesman made their way into the plaza somehow. Isn't this a prestigious hotel? Why would that even happen? Maybe it's just a rumor. Prestigious.
Nothing else new here, huh?
I guess not. Legs, unless we want to get some more stuff with our tokens.
I guess we could probably do the pagoda easier in multiplayer, but it's a pain in the butt to go through, like, Kirby-style arena.
I'm not sure how much help I would be, since any on-screen action lags the heck out of Parsec.
What we got? We got 31. We can trickle charge. Faster ladders. More M-tanks. Level mapper. Nullify knockback while sliding. Reduces knockback after getting hit.
Knockback reduction sounds really good.
Revenge burst also sounds like pretty good. You can kill things faster with Fury Buster, and Revenge Burst might protect us, but reduce knockback. Okay, we can get that. We got 10 left, or 11 left. We can faster ladders, or just like save or something.
What's the Flurry Buster? That doesn't seem necessary. Let's just save the rest.
Alrighty. Yeah, this was one of the harder sprites to make. This Bastion on the bike. Because you can't just edit Mega Man to do it. And yes, I was trying to figure out what a Rui would ride, and I just made a bike. I was like, you know what? I'll just keep the frickin' bike. Why not? Should probably maybe put some transparency on the wheels, but it's supposed to look... What in the world? What?
This place is a dream. Are you kidding me? Flashing lights, prizes, spectacles. The only thing this casino is missing is candy machines. Then I'll be set for life. I saw one of the machines at the Game Sphere as a potential prize. I have to win it.
Game Sphere?
Boom.
Oh, sweetie, your breath is stank.
What? No! Well, I don't know what South Park... I don't know what references South Park gets up to. I'll be honest with you, I don't know where she comes from either. I swear, she just showed up to my doorstep one day and made herself at home. It's like a sick cosmic joke. Is this just a coincidence? There are a lot of fire robot masters out there.
Delight told me once that scientists were confused that animals kept evolving into crabs. Anyways, like that, scientists keep building fire robots because... I haven't figured out the reason yet.
You know what? I think you have a point. Yeah, it's exactly like crabs. You know, we were really thinking about burning this place down too, but security is way too good. Put the even sprinkler system here. None of them! What else am I supposed to do until I can go home? Not commit arson? Please!
Yeah, I guess it's time to go to the rave. We got everything in the food court. We got everything in the food court. The rave.
That must be the exit. Welcome to the rave, also called Tier 10. We have some strict dance code guidelines. 1. No flossing. 2. Whipping and nay-naying is only allowed in moderation. 3. Dancing with yourself requires a permit. People on the upper floors are busy partying, so it might be hard to make them out. Stay sharp for anyone who looks familiar. Okay. Unguard Treasure by Darkness and 11.
That's a lot of tokens.
Whee!
Yeah, like the spitting I had to do for the Ruiz. Oh no.
Hi. Ugh.
Another gimmick level, huh? Another, like, mimic gimmick level here.
Mimics.
Oh. Okay. Bird. Bird.
Oop.
Ah! Oh no, Metroid Donuts.
And nobody likes Rinka shooters. Can't even destroy these ones. Ugh!
Oh no.
Oop! Oh no!
Is this going to be another multi-boss stage for some reason?
This looks like a gauntlet or something. Or, you know, survival challenge. Yeah.
It's going to be a pain in the butt to try. Oh!
Okay.
No damage that.
GameFace says, I thought this was Mega Mix or whatever the engine is called, not Super Mario Bros. X.
I mean, people made stuff for the Mario Brothers X is the same. Make the levels in this, so you recognize some of the names, but I don't. I hit the jump button.
The jump
But
didn't
Black said
jump.
no.
Oop.
Oh.
Oh!
This is where we need, like, the faster ladder speed.
Shoot the thing.
I'm trying.
Or we can do...
Yeah.
Wow, that didn't even work.
Nope. Ah! So
Man!
many enemies. Look at the laggity lag. Yeah, the spinning Rui there I had to make, so. And the flipping Rui I had to make. Well, with the bike Rui. What are the rules? I have sub-weapons. Actually, sub-weapons are within the rules because they are allowed. Weeble! Ouch, Shimba! Up. Birds.
Okay. Aha. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, perfect dodge.
That was close.
Perfect. This does not have enough frames. I think needs a little more frames.
Go
Where am I
left.
going now?
Go left.
Oh. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Right seems like the correct way. It's standard. Oh no.
Yeah.
You just made me try to imagine, like, an but with Goofy laughing.
Boss needs a credit. Zune. Music credit.
It's gonna be a Toho boss.
We were supposed to be the boss here, but that pesky thing took over the control system.
Light armor.
What's a token here? He's cost a fortune. Oh. It's reverse ideology.
What?
The fifth stage boss of double dealing character.
Oh. Oh! That makes a hole in the floor. This is like a remixed, This is like a remixed, Blaster Master boss. For Mega Man. Hi. I'm in the wall. Hi. It's breaking the boundaries again. Hi. I'm here. There we go.
Yay!
Unfortunately, it left a hole in the floor. It's just
Game Face says cool clipping there. Alright, that was weird. That was a weird level.
It wasn't bad. Although the Bastion, my passive and Bastion breaking the rules always happens. I have a cat. There we go. Then you can't see my webcam, so.
Kitties. Alright, that's a good fake out. Basic tile set, simple enemies, kind of boring music. Everything about the first segment feels like a rushed, altogether uninteresting level. It's not a useless fake out. The assets in here, except Chillman, are reused in the real level, so it's also a strong teaching moment. All that said, Energy Element Bat died before his time. He could have offered much more than one appearance. As for the actual level, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, the concept is straight up cool. I like a majority of how the reskins are used, but particularly Surprise Can Telly. It gets a lot of use in the level to the point where it's arguably the primary gimmick, and I love how well this cute little can do his job. On the other hand,
thought of a silly way to work that energy element bat. Well, you keep running into more than one of them, and they join together at the end. But it forms Batman. Like it's Batman. They come together to form Batman. I mean, Robo Dracula would be kind of funny too, but I think Batman is the more unexpected thing. Hi.
On the other hand, once the novelty wears off, somebody right-clicked on the thing.
Sweetie did.
Thanks, sweetie. Once the novelty wears off, the level gets boring, especially since the tile set colors get worse, not better. Simple enemies, diedynes, and drop platforms can only do so much for a level, and there's several enemy reskins, namely the gimmicks and crazy cannon, which feels they could have been more interesting. For that matter, the purple V diedynes are very confusing, and the level's ending feels incredibly abrupt. I know more could have been done with all of this. The other big thing is the level's love of murderous dust blocks. The blue ones as the rings make excellent obstacles. I've consistently managed to zip into one with a down and jump slide because it's not solid, trapping me in a box till I die. The green ones, they have a nice idea, but there's far too much randomization in how their shots will arc, meaning whether or not you dodge is up to luck or shields. The devil blocks, though? Fantastic fight. I love the variety in its attacks, the music is much better, and I appreciate how much vulnerability time it has compared to the average devil. It is rather unfortunate that the energy element tends to get stuck if you kill it wrong, but otherwise, this is a way better marriage of Pico Pico Kun and Yellow Devil than Block Devil was. And I'm glad we ended things on a high note. I have mixed feelings about this stage. On one hand, there's a pretty decent concept here, and it's obvious there was thought put into the design choices. As I said, the overall execution is a bit iffy. Admittedly, my first impressions were not that great here, mostly due to the aesthetics. I'm not a fan of background scenery being used as solid tiles, especially when it's a vanilla tile set like Needleman's. The change to a gray color palette and straight up lack of backgrounds on some sections just ended up hurting things more, not to mention the music. I personally found it to be on a bit on the bland side, further hindered by the fact it doesn't loop properly. Aesthetics aside, however, I do think
Luna is just being jealous I picked up.
No, not. I do think the bait and switch opening was pulled off decently here. Granted, the fake energy element did tip me off the moment I saw it, especially when it glitched into the walls briefly. Up until that point, though, it wasn't immediately obvious there was going to be much more to the stage. Speaking of which, the rest of the level itself is alright. You could definitely fault the stage's platforming for being too easy. The copious amounts of moving platforms and spikes. Then again, I don't think it's fair to call it all bland either. There's definitely some creative parts as well. The main one that comes to mind is the vertical room with the telly cans lined up along the walls. You need to be mindful of your shots on the crazy cannons, otherwise you risk activating too many of the tellies. It's a pretty interesting obstacle, however you can easily abuse Laser Trident to circumvent the setup altogether. It's unfortunate since there's a lot of potential in segments like that where you can't breeze through them. I feel the same thing somewhat applies to the boss as well. There's an interesting concept here, but the attacks themselves are largely unthreatening. The one exception to this is where the boss rises up from the ground and goes back and forth while spikes protrude from the sides on the floor, given you don't have much room to work with to avoid it. That aside, the only other notable thing in this fight is that the energy element routinely seems to get stuck inside the walls if you kill the boss during its slamming attack. Thankfully, you can still collect the element, but it's still a noticeable issue. Like I said before, there's some decent concepts in here that are worth exploring. It just needs a lot more polish. Unguarded sense of safety. The stage started out quite normal. Standard Needleman tile set, standard enemies, standard platforming setups. All is good. Then comes Chillman, an odd mini-boss choice that thankfully wasn't too bad to deal with on standard non-icy terrain. Then things got weird. Tiles are repainted with vibrating colors, the sky became an unnatural shade of green, health pickups and mystery tanks became sentient and now wanted to dish out harm instead. Pieces of Pico Pico Master now served as Shadow Man platforms, and Beat turned to the dark side of video game birds. I don't know what it is about this stage, but it just made me feel slightly nauseous while playing through it. It's certainly very bizarre, the whole platforms and enemies being reskinned to familiar allies and power-ups, making it very hard to comprehend just what the hey is going on. I'm glad the stage stayed relatively short for just how bizarre everything was getting. The music is oddly fitting, considering its structure bears a strange coincidental resemblance to Tomahawk Man's theme. Combined with the whole reskinning stuff, creating the atmosphere of walking through something familiar, not really. Quite nicely chosen. The looping is just bad though, please fix. Not trying to dismiss the level design of the stage as a whole from its strange theming, there are certainly clever setups like the one with all the question mark tank tellies on the side, making a player be careful not to fire too many shots on doom with the crazy Yashichi cannons. It is a good room, challenging the player's knowledge of the enemies that are present in the room. I also like the various uses of the Snowman or V platforms throughout the stage and make for some really good jumping challenges. However, there are also some parts I found a bit annoying. For example, the room just after the second to last checkpoint with the crazy Yashichi cannon and the question mark tank telly on the ladder. While the room is cleverly designed with how you need to get the tank telly out of the way, it's also quite annoyingly placed as it halts the momentum of respawning players who want to rush back to later sections. On the topic of this particular room, I also like to point out that you should always try to keep walls on edges in the same screen. Since right now it looks like there are openings on the left that the player can walk to when they can't really. The Rinka's mini-boss, where the player is tasked to dodge incoming bullet attacks for a set time, is an interesting concept, but those crazy cannon shots from the mini-boss come out a bit too quickly and unpredictably and make it a completely fair and pleasant experience. The big hitbox for Megman also doesn't help with the bullet range situation. For the V platforms, I didn't get the color difference at first. It indicates that they would stay in place after triggering them. Probably due to the sudden appearance change for the platforms, and the forced toggles both times when red ones were introduced. Certainly not a design flaw, but it was just hard for
Ooh.
It was just hard for me to catch that indication at the moment of play. Getting the token in the part with the green sky background was also a bit of a nuisance, since Beat PP can spawn right in your face as you try to exit to the left. That could probably been solved by just placing the PP spawner on the right side instead. The boss, sudden style-clashing Toho music aside, is quite well done. The attacks are clearly defined and telegraphed, and clever use of the blocks to implement platforming challenges to the fight is definitely a neat touch. Definitely a highlight after all the strange encounters with the rest of the stage. It bothers me so much that I can't get more psyched about this level. I am okay, I need to make myself some tea with honey or something.
Alrighty, want me to keep reading, or are you just gonna be back?
I'll be back.
Alrighty.
It'll take like a minute or two.
Sounds like Streets of Rage music. Just checking my schedule for tomorrow. Aw. Knort. Snip stop! Snippity stop stop! Thank you, sweetie. No, he's getting his tea. I'm just gonna poke at my Pokemans on Pokemon Sleep. No, you were just out. This might be from a Streets of Rage.
Okay. Woo! Where was I?
Dingle! Dingus! Who's digging? Why are you digging?
It bothers me so much that I can't get more psyched about this level. Items turning into enemies is a brilliant premise, but the theme doesn't follow through. I want a location that fits with the premise. I see Needleman with an indecisive color scheme and some crates. Where's Unguard Treasure? Why have Pico Pico 3 flavors of B and Cossack blocks when you could use Eddie EWN tanks and an oversized gear recovery? Why does the roughly lit music make me feel like I'm attending Tomahawk Man's funeral? I want to applaud how the opening section cleverly introduces all the enemies and gimmicks afforded to their disguises, except it doesn't cover the whole roster.
No, you were just out.
Baton is unnecessary, and Camouflamatol is cheap and comes afford a twist. Because the later challenges aren't shaped into difficulty arcs and there's so much instant death, the other well-spaced checkpoints don't feel frequent enough. It's rude to use two-way screen transitions everywhere except where a player might need to backtrack for a token.
Please.
Chillman's fake energy element can get stuck in the floor. Rush Bike disappears on the rotating platforms, which are color-coded by type. Please don't just use color. Functionally unpredictable, even among the same type. And awkwardly used, as screen entrances, crossing through architecture, stopping too close to a ceiling, or too far from a platform.
I just let you out, puppy. Ow.
Oddly, custom enemies don't reset upon that return to a previous screen or react to being hit by ineffective weapons. The boss fight has major hitbox issues with the spikes. I see glimpses of this level's potential. The initial surprise of each new enemy is a joy. Tully is consistently used superbly, and the boss has the makings of a Capcom boss. All the ingredients are there to create a beautiful custard dessert of a level that turn out like scrambled eggs. The biggest positive to this stage elements are really well introduced. Even when you turn it all on its head, stage elements are easily recognized and remembered. Several stages of this contest have tried the whole fake-out thing, and this is one of the few I actually like. It's clever, charming. I don't really think there are any other stages going forward are going to replicate the success of this one. So anyone watching and thinking of entering MaGMML3, don't replicate this stage. I almost guarantee this stage is going to do this idea way better than you.
Luna, please.
Luna puppy, what you doing, huh?
Climbing in my lap costume.
Look at this puppy.
Oh.
Look at this puppy. Hi, puppy.
I was like, I hope she won't bleed out. She doesn't bleed out, because I just let her out before I started. But
really, this is a super cute stage, and the power-up enemies are frankly brilliant and adorable in a mad science crime against nature kind of way. Graphically, outside the new enemies, it's okay. The tiling looks pretty good, but the pit indication is messy and inconsistent. The use of green walls and green backgrounds make certain rooms hard to parse, too. The music took a while to grow on me, but it eventually did. Token challenges are nice and rewarding, too. Rewarding players for paying attention and trying new things is the best way of handling these, personally speaking. Some of the bigger negatives include, for lack of better term, the green block mini-bosses. Having to wait around this doesn't feel nice, and having zero indication how long it's going to last is irritating. It's also super easy to cheese with Wire Shield, but that's a lesser negative. On the subject of mini-bosses, I know it's slightly intentional, but Chillman? Why Chillman? I do appreciate being able to kill the energy element he drops, though. Nice detail. The boss is a mixed bag. Don't get me wrong, the actual fight is great. Tells are obvious, yet easy to stop paying attention to in certain attacks, thus staying rewarding. The attacks in question are unique and he doesn't outlive his welcome, a rarity in devil fights. But the fact that the boss creates a death pit is really, really easy to miss. Just not having a graphic there in the first place would have been more obvious. Actually landing a killing blow, at least in the judge build, is the riskiest part of the fight. Do it at the wrong time and you soft lock. Other areas don't quite work right either. Given complexity of the stage assets, the stage has a lot of awkward areas and I found myself soft lock elsewhere too. This is a really good stage and has more lackluster elements than showing up. It would have probably been a really good contender. Even with these lacking elements, I had fun here.
Alrighty. Luna's gonna have a fit probably the second we start the next level, but whatever.
Bobbies.
Go, damn it. Hopefully that didn't break the controller. I only have one PS4 controller, so let's not break that controller.
Nice.
What was that?
I said nice.
What is the point of this?
Breakman!
Get out. Can you see I'm breakdancing?
Yeah. Whoa, what? What?
Oh. They expand if you jump on them twice. Or what? Or you get stuck inside of them, that also happens. Sunsoft music. It's Armless Man. Ah! This is kind of glitchy. What?
Thanks for stealing my bomb. Gimmick, huh?
Definitely an oh, if one of us stays standing on it, it doesn't change. Ah! Uh-oh. There are definitely sections that require you to use the thing. Interesting gimmick, weirdly executed.
Bye!
Armless, no clipping man, I guess. Oh, there was only one token. Okay, don't need to worry about the others. I'm guessing those are spikes.
Yeah, they look like spikes to me.
That is a very rude, tight section there, jeez.
Wait, are damage spikes?
Ah! Ah! No.
You just got squished. That's what killed you.
Yeah, like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Very rude little tiny section there. That is some tight movement that you need in there. Just like that jump. It's pretty tight too.
Yeah.
Ow. Oh, wait.
Ah.
Wait, that's right. We need. Bye.
What do we need?
Trying to add things to the catalog.
Oh, right.
Don't think that's gonna work there. They vanish off screen too quickly.
Huh. Boss time. I forget what the deal is. What?
I don't know.
Whoa. Nice. So, Game Face asks, do you need to slay every kind of Joe or something?
No, there was just like an enemy catalog. I don't know if it counts for that, but
Interspatial compression with a 5% time penalty. Between the visuals and the music fake out, I was pleasantly surprised this wasn't just a meme. The side shifting blocks are simple, elegant, and they're easily to highlight the level, used in a variety of interesting puzzles and cute scenarios. There's also some mildly interesting custom enemies, although between the extensive swarms of children around the token and the Joes falling through platforms a lot, the end result of that left something to be desired. The other less than desirable end result was the end of the level itself. I have some promise with the moving platforms. I enjoyed the last puzzle with the compressing block, but it suddenly ratchets up the challenge with a nasty, spiky combination room, thankfully they're damaged spikes, before dropping into nothing immediately afterwards, followed shortly by the boss door and a fairly easy boss. That was abrupt enough to cause whiplash, and I left the experience disappointed. So those concepts are interesting, but it only scratches the surface of what is introduced here. And while I started out fun, this ended way too abruptly. I wish I had more to play. This gimmick is pretty cool. I can't wait to see what else the stage does with it. Wait, it's over? Aw, oh, come on. It was just getting good. That was basically my thought process by the time this level was over. To go into a bit more depth, I really like the gimmick of this stage. Changing the size of platforms just by jumping and walking off of them is a great idea with a ton of potential. There's some fun room layouts here, and the difficulty progression is pretty good throughout. What's there as far as... cat.
the husky part. She does not need to come in. You actually coming in now?
Cat bumped the mouse or something and clicked off screen, so I can't control the thing with the keyboard.
You can bring the other toy in later. Yes, there's spilled soda because Speedy got in the way.
I need you to click the thing for me. I don't know if you can hear me.
What's up? Yeah, I can hear you.
Somebody clicked off screen.
Oh, Sweetie did. Probably.
Okay, what's there as far as level structure is decent, but ultimately it doesn't feel like a fully fleshed out stage. This could have easily been fixed if it did more with its main gimmick. Moving platforms shake things up a bit, but they only show up in the second half of the stage and don't stick around for very long either. There are a few other issues here as well, one being with the armless Joe enemy. It's not that he's a bad enemy, in fact, he's actually one of the most unique Joe variants I've seen throughout this contest. Rather, it's that he falls through to compression platforms, ruining what could have been some interesting platforming challenges. And there's the boss, which only has one attack, but it's fired out at different speeds. The shrinking room does make the fight harder, but more so in the sense that it just becomes a damage race at that point. Overall, with more polish, this could have been an amazing stage. I'd love to see a revised version of this that explores more of the main gimmick's potential. Applying the compression effect to different platform shapes would be one way to go. Maybe even have linked platforms that grow and shrink in response to the other ones. Of course, that's just me throwing out some ideas. You got a really good concept here, so I definitely encourage you to take another swing at this to make it the best it can be. Just not as a recycled level for something like MaGMML3, please. Strange gimmick of blocks expanding or shrinking after you land on or jump off of. It's definitely an interesting one, the way the blocks change size after each time you interact with it, but I can't say it's something I've seen before, so it's definitely pretty creative. I also like how it's incorporated into the level design here. Definitely cool to see the different setups of the blocks. I felt the gimmick would work better overall if it cycles between expanding and shrinking after reaching max or min size, would allow for more versatility in some of the designs. One of the beginning rooms is especially rough in regards to the weirdly strict interaction, being limited to how many times you can jump while you're required to jump at least a few times to deal with some of the enemies. There is some rough tiling work in some of the rooms, and there are a few spots where the edges are clearly cut off. The moving platforms are just weird. Give Mega Man somewhat of an awkward momentum. I'm also not entirely sure how you do to room with a ton of spikes to that one long moving platform. The gap is simply way too small to make. The boss is also an odd one. The bullets he fires vary in speed, making dodging them not really consistent even if he follows a strict pattern. Gut reaction? This level has a lot going for it, and yet it leaves me somehow unsatisfied. Creativity! The main gimmick is innovative, not to mention a lot of fun, but I feel like it's only scratching the surface of its potential. For starters, what about a mini-boss fight over shrinking platforms? Graphics! They're clean and clear, and I like how the background helps the player visualize where growing and moving platforms will end up. But everything is very plain, and a couple tiles are missing. It's odd that growing platforms continue lighting up when you land on it at maximum size, suggesting they'll keep growing. I'm not sure exactly what the boss is supposed to look like, the hands in particular. Learning curve! It starts off comfortably, gentle and steady, shaken only by the random returning Sniper Joe. When moving platforms are introduced, things get jumbled. Difficulty leaps all over the place, like it's pretending to be one of those charmingly silly hopping Joes. All the individual challenges are... Sweetie. Sweetie, please.
Get off the mouse pad, please. Thank you.
Cat.
No, I just let you out. Stop.
Oops, I missed.
Okay, should be back on there.
Yeah, there we go. All the individual challenges are deliberate and reasonably fair, maybe a smidge too demanding at times. They'd just be better in a different order. Miscellaneous missteps. Screen entrances tend to occur behind the health bar, obscuring the action, and require you to immediately stop moving to stay safe. Two-way transitions are a liability. A sneaky secret E-tank should really be a token, and it can glitch through a floor there. But apparently it's trendy to fall through floors because a few Joes drop straight through the platforms underneath them when they spawn. Other observations. A little continuous scrolling might be nice. The music works well. Length checkpoints and power-ups are spot on. The token challenge is both clever and funny. The surprise in a boss fight is fantastic. I would have loved more of that elsewhere. Honestly, the stage hosts an interesting gimmick. I haven't actually seen it before, and it does just enough to keep the player invested. While there are new twists occasionally to these transformative blocks, the stages also host an awful lot of filler or no challenge screens. Making for a cakewalk of a stage. Rather unfortunate given just how short the stage is. Sentinel screens also occur after the most interesting segment of the stage, just when the Prince Riz starts to pick up. So the stage ends on a whimper. The boss follows suit, having the most bare bones of attacks, and the twist at the midpoint fails to add spice to an otherwise dull slugfest. He isn't a detriment, he just needed more to him. Another problem is just how boring it all looks thanks to the graphic design, or lack thereof. I say the foreground being simplistic works for me. To me it's the right choice thanks to plenty of graphical indicators on enemy gimmick and room boundaries, all allowing Riz to feel intuitive. And this helps you really nail the show don't tell introduction to the stage gimmicks. This sort of general aesthetic fits the mood, and it could look really good, but without any interesting backgrounds, it falls utterly meaningless. Take the Bubble Bobble style arcade game approach and swipe some nice looking backgrounds to fill the screen. Could have tied the weirdness into a consistent package. The stage shows a lot of promise. The concept is cool, and I think with more time and polished aesthetics it could have been a stand-up piece. As it stands, it was neat. Back to adventure. Anyone dancing around here? Working in security cameras got me wondering, who makes these E-tanks anyway? There's a Pepsi Man for Pepsi. Is there an E-Man for energy tanks? He's certainly not as vocal as Pepsi Man if so, which is good for me given I can only retain water. This is a curiosity. Nothing. Maybe there's a switch that opens it up. Each of these teleporters are filled with my new color-shifting acid. When you collect every element or token in a level, the respective tube will shift up and down in response. Now, you can't tell that with the one below me. You haven't cleared this paradise of a simulation yet.
Oh, he suddenly spazzed out. Oh no, another rain level. What? There's a what? That is one lumpy fish. Looks like a Simpsons fish. There's an... Oh, it's an acid meter, okay.
Yeah. I didn't even get to see the title of the stage, actually.
Ah! Well... Guess we gotta redo the level. It's a range fish. Huh. This is going to suck.
Yeah.
This is going to really suck.
Yeah. Maybe you can make it with Tornado Blow? Then again, no. If Rush Coil didn't get you over there, I don't know what would.
Bike, maybe?
Maybe Bike. No!
It doesn't work either because it
almost works.
What the heck are you supposed to do to get that?
Cancel a rush bike with a well-timed weapon change press.
That is an extremely rude token then, jeez. Yeah, that's not gonna make it.
Lag. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna die.
I don't really like this level so far with that. Hopefully the rest of the tokens aren't going to be that stupidly annoying to get.
Bye.
I mean, multiplayer definitely, that section is definitely not designed for that, but getting it even solo is going to be a pain in the ass. Bye. Oh, I hate this so much. That is an awful token placement, jeez.
I'd be doing better if it wasn't raining.
Problem is, if either of us fall, then we both fall through there. I mean, at least it's not terribly long to get back, but it's still a really annoying token placement. I hate this. This is like, why go something so horribly hard to pull off for that token? It's the very first token of the level, too. I hate this so much. It's like expert level timing just to get there. So I'm kind of worried what the rest of the challenges in this level might be like.
You made it!
Super time that.
Huge thanks to Sarisa for programming the main gimmick and many other minor things found in this level, such as the rain splashing on the water. Credits and thanks to Phazon Motherbrain for coding the mini-boss and Fabian for coding the boss. Huge thanks to Ratty for all the sprite work in this level. All music was created by Spectral Aves. The original composer is DM Dokuro. Spectral Aves remixed it. Looks like a split
Hold on,
route.
we need to reset our... Oh geez, a split route. Ah, which way do you want to go first?
Let's
That
go
means we have
right.
to replay this level again. Ay, 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 ay.
Nice.
Yeah, although it seems like we're gonna have to replay this level twice.
Reset now.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if you had another checkpoint yet. D-tank. Aya, yagala, gala, 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 gala.
Oh, this is bad.
Right at the checkpoint, too. Jeez. That doesn't actually give you enough time to get through that section, which is odd. At least not with getting the token. Although it's only damaging you at first, and then I died right after. So. Or not like that. That was just multiplayer dumb. I can't join back in because, well, I have a huge chunk of acid on me. Okay. Oh, the acid, if you're getting hurt, hurts me.
Oh, that is super acid.
Yes. And if you're getting damaged by it, it damages me as well against multiplayer glitch.
Ooh.
Okay. Please don't do a spike fall right after a mini boss. Your acid meter is still full.
Yep. It's very hard to tell that even says acid.
Okay. Wait, we're underwater now, I guess?
I guess.
That came out of nowhere. Certainly love your use of annoying frogs.
Hmm.
Ow. Oh boy. That's a long way between checkpoints.
Ah.
It's so hard to avoid these little frogs, man. Ah! Okay. Wait, don't we have the energy equalizer? Why did that drop?
I have no idea. The only reason I can think of is that I'm missing some weapon energy.
That was my thought too, yeah. Just unavoidable damage. That's
What do you mean unavoidable? Just go up.
I can't because this thing is in the way up there.
Then kill it.
I can't kill it. It's a no. And I guess I can kill that one, but I was shot at a bunch of times before, and it didn't.
No, you just went straight down both times.
I shot the second one before, and it didn't do anything. Oh, jeez. Ow.
Aha!
Ow. Oh jeez. Spike fall up! Very rude spike fall. And that was with knockback protection too, jeez. It is very hard to avoid damage in this stage.
Well, bike time.
That was about what I was going to say. That seems like another very rude token. Very rude frogs, too.
I'm stuck. What the heck? Okay then.
That sure was a glitch. What the heck? How the heck did that happen?
I have no idea. Whoops.
We are not dealing with your shenanigans.
Bike.
I will. This one.
Yay.
Huh. Oh, it's underwater. It's so hard to know what it's under. I mean, there's bubbles,
there are
I guess.
bubbles.
But have some, like, differentiating background or something.
Hey look, it's a Yashichi.
Acid meters, how fun. Oh, the heck are you?
I don't know.
Oh no! Long fish.
Yay! Oh.
Okay. Okay, snake.
One more hit. Yay!
You actually done? Oh. Smile? What? Okay.
Woohoo! Alright, now Game Face is in your stream too.
Yep.
Sulfuric Abyss by Chico. So, some fact about me, corrosive materials give me the heebie-jeebies, something fierce, which make my choice of avatar a bit ironic. A pineapple? What?
Pineapples are very acidic and they break down proteins.
Hmm.
That's why they're a great thing for, like, marinating meat.
Ah. As such, I didn't expect to be very keen on a level that revolves around not melting in acidic water, especially when it plays it a lot less cartoony. And yet, my problem with the level wasn't what I expected. The time limit on the acid bars was easily managed even when the super acid was introduced. and the level as a whole doesn't really try to threaten the player with melting into a pile of scrap. The result? Rather than feeling nervous and jittery, I was just bored. Something not helped by the uninspired dark cave visual. Personal anxieties aside, the core gimmick is a decent one. The timer bar has a certain level of urgency to the earlier water segments, allowing the water to use more enemies and fewer spikes. And when the level needs the big guns, the super acid pools make an excellent replacement for spikes, though perhaps a little non-threatening since you're rarely in a position where you're likely to stand in them. There's also these giant acid bells, which are kind of cool at first with how they plow through everything in their way. However, they're very painfully underutilized, with only one time where their 8-way split behavior matters at all. In fact, underutilized applies to a lot of this level, but especially the enemy types. Gabgo and Croaker were the only ones that appeared with any real regularity, and while I took a sadistic pleasure in the many Decimini Croakers, the Gabgo's appearances were by and large easy to snipe. The biggest letdown was probably the weird bubble-shooting fish being an entire custom enemy type that just barely even appears, let alone really do anything. Considering it's the only regular enemy that's unique to the level, that's a crying shame. Given above underutilization issues, it shouldn't be surprising that the biggest need of this level is the bosses. The little baby's a fun fight, and I like the way it uses the super acid pool to somewhat protect itself. That said, the dash attack is too fast for my liking. Feels like a bit of luck is necessary to reliably dodge it. As for the main boss, the adult starts out fine besides a near blind spot. And the beginning of the second phase is an excellent twist on the concept, but when it gets below half health, it completely eschews its attacks for just tackling you a bunch. It seems imposing at first since it's not hard to box yourself in, but once figured out, it's far less interesting than the freeform first phase, which is way too short in comparison. Plus, that boxing aspect feels less like a challenge and more like a design hiccup, which makes it feel all around worse than the mid-boss before it. In general, this wasn't what I expected. I expect something that would genuinely scare me or otherwise royally creep me out, but instead it just kind of bored me. In that sense, it didn't pay to subvert expectations. To be honest, I wasn't sure how to feel about this stage at first. I think the overall concept of the level is really cool and there's definitely some interesting ideas in here, but the execution isn't without its flaws. Starting off is the acid mechanic. While I think it's a sound concept, it ended up being more of a nuisance than anything thanks to the room layouts. The first major section where you submerge in acid is rather confusing to navigate due to looking so open-ended. This is especially the case if you're going for the tokens. That's also not to mention the small openings in certain parts that look like they were designed to provide air pockets for you, but just end up not working. Well, further confusion to these sections is acid droplets from the ceiling, which, as it turns out, are just there for decoration. I guess the dark coloring on them is supposed to signal that they're in the background, but I didn't get that impression from them the first time around, especially since they're placed in spots that make them come across as legit hazards.
That's what I was treating them like.
The middling to strange room layouts do improve somewhat once you make it past the mini-boss, though. Speaking of which, that fight was probably the highlight of this level. It's relatively fast-paced, but fair battle, barring that one move where he zips across the top of the screen at Mach 10. That one attack aside, I really enjoyed that battle and some of the underground cave segments that followed. I say some, since a few of them are still held back by the croakers, which are often placed in ways where their tiny frogs are almost guaranteed to get a hit. Granted, they do become less annoying the deeper you get into the stage. That room where you could just use a giant acid bowl to block the small frogs that fit out was genuinely pretty interesting. Just wish those acid bowls had been used in more unique ways like that, since for as neat as they are, they don't really show up that much. Finally, there's the end boss. I don't have much to say about his first phase, since it's a relatively standard fight with a fairly straightforward pattern and set of attacks. It would be a decent end to the stage if it weren't for his second phase. While a sudden freefall movement change is easy enough to get used to, it's not exactly ideal when you have little to no room to work with. If it weren't for that one quirk of this phase, I could see it working out relatively well. As it stands, however, it's a rather chaotic ending to an otherwise mixed bag of a level. Submerged spelunking! Beware of lurking danger. I can say for sure this level has done a great job at setting up its atmosphere. The combination of the music and the dead creatures scattered around putting the player through this acidic wasteland does provide a feeling of chill and dread throughout. As for the actual design part, I can't say I'm particularly impressed by it. There's a lot of branching paths which all look the same and are hard to navigate throughout while trying to look for the tokens. All on top of having to deal with submerging yourself into acid, which several long stretches that lack any safe zone. It's a very unpleasant experience trying to explore everything overall. The fight with the mid-boss, Baby Wish, was okay. I would have liked it more if the acid didn't build up as rapidly, as most of the fight boiled down to having to wait for the acid level to go down while Baby Wish is just chilling in the acid throughout. The second part of the stage feels much better when you're no longer forced to be in the acid for an extended period, and the level layout has also become more linear. Interesting property of the acid bubble destroying the enemies on its path. I like getting into one room where it's placed to get rid of the frog spam. I just feel like it could be utilized more than just being a slow-moving obstacle in the way, because one part of the stage demonstrates the bubble being used as a shield from the mini-frogs jumping down. Another part where it could have been interesting is when the bubble hits the crab bots and the players have to dodge the shells they drop. The boss of the stage, Adult Wish, was overall a pretty fun fight. The spread shot attacks can be tricky to dodge, but they always get fired in the same pattern and timing. It's satisfying once you find a reliable way to avoid the attack. The second phase is a neat fight, though leading Wish's charge attacks and dodging out of the way in time can be a bit strict to do when you no longer have the momentum of gravity helping you. It can also be quite punishing if you lead it wrong and end up trapped in a dicey position, but overall, it's a solid conclusion to the entry with how engaging the battle goes. I noticed throughout the stage that certain sound effects get played repeatedly. For example, the acid bubble going off screen, it plays a slash sound in rapid succession. Similar thing occurs during the second phase of the Adult Wish fight. Just minor nitpicking, doesn't affect how the stage plays overall. This feels like a lot of DOS platforms that I've played. Simple gimmicks, somewhat repetitive enemy-centric challenges, meandering level layout with just enough branching paths to be confusing, and graphics that communicate function without much flair. I like the acid gimmick, especially along the ceiling and in situations where there's a strategic advantage to risking acid damage. I appreciate how bubbles, exploding froglings, and extra dead fish emphasize the peril. I would have liked an additional audio or visual cue to alert the player when the acid level is critical, and I might use the skull eye sign rather than ass over id for the acid meter. The weapon limitation seems solely related to the first token challenge, which is annoyingly easy to botch. The third token is cleverly hidden. The section right after the mini-boss could use some adjustment. That long fall is interminable, and an earlier introduction to global water physics would work better for the aesthetics. The blue tiles look like they belonged exclusively underwater. And learning curve, the current introduction drops you onto a crab and surprises you with low spikes overhead. The boss and mini-boss are highlights. The gigantic acid bubbles are also neat, though I would like to see a bit more of them. And the various fish for that matter. And less of the frogs and crabs. Too many enemies can be defeated before they ever become a threat, and the acid, as much as I like it, is more often an inconvenience than an integral part of the challenge. I like that the aesthetics are tied to the challenge progression. Each section has a distinctive look and feel, and the changing music continually fits the mood. I see lots of little ways to spruce up the execution, but it's clear that thought, planning, and effort went into this level. Gosh, this is a strange stage, but low-key, I came away from this really positively. Getting the aesthetics out of the way, objectively the stage's tiling itself is rather lacking. It's all graphically mixed and kind of shoddy in places, but the atmospheric detail ranks top-notch. From the music to the mood to just how odd it all looks. I think it actually papers over some of the weaknesses and results in an overall nice and memorable stage for me. I do wish the new fish enemies actually look robotic. It's weird shooting down what look to be organic living creatures, especially when they're alongside the typical Mega Man robot animals. This mixture is probably the biggest detriment to me from a graphical standpoint. Either go all in with organic enemies or stick to robots. I love the acid mechanic. It's been really well balanced here, and except for the bungled teaching of the stronger acid, more on that later, by introducing it during the mid-boss, it is a super fun and intense gimmick all at the same time. The player feels the need to rush, but if you sit back and look at how slowly it drains Mega Man's health, or at least the weaker stuff, you aren't in that much danger, but it feels like you are. The stronger acid also makes for a good alternative to plastering spikes all over the place, and water stages are wont to do in Mega Man. And this is, to me, another stage where having multiple paths hasn't really hurt it. So many stages splitting their attention between two paths with both feeling half-baked. Here they feel like two proper halves of the same level, so good on you for that. Introductions are a bit wonky. The weaker acid is introduced fine. It's obvious how it works, but the fact there's a second strength of acid was confusing, not only my first run through, but even when I came back to the stage a couple months later. Introducing a more intense acid during a boss fight effectively results in death. The existence of this stuff needed a way more obvious tell that it was as deadly as it is, and it's very hard to parse. The fact that it's the same color as the regular acid is equally baffling. The bosses are a mixed bag, and of the two, the mid-boss is the stronger. Because your mid-boss is rad. He has some really fun to dodge attacks, and once you parse the fact that stronger acid exists, it makes for a unique mechanic for the fight, having shades of Mega Water S from Wily Wars. It's a big highlight of the stage for me. Your big end boss is mechanically neat and has real potential, but he's ultimately too difficult and irritating for his own good. He's hard, but not in a rewarding manner. His victories do not feel earned. Tells on the boss are weird. They seem very desynced or undersold, which results in attacks that are difficult to dodge unless you just decide to spend the entire first half of the fight sitting in the corner. But it all falls apart in the second phase. It's a neat concept in theory, except the movement mechanic is so delayed it skyrockets the fight's difficulty. At this point, dodging by instinct is not an option. You have to completely plan out and know ahead of time how to manipulate the boss during this phase to have any chance of winning. It's a shame it ends on this low note too, because I dang really like the rest of the level, especially the mid-boss. Oh yeah, stuff does fill up. That's neat. Judgment Man by Darth Wider.
It's a low fun score.
Oh, wow. Gah! This environment, it's harsher than any jungle or desert. It's an assault on the senses. So much noise, so many lights, so many potential threats around you at once. May the strength find me. I shall persevere! What?
Darkwing Duck music.
Objection!
We're
Ow.
waiting for you. Yep, Darkwing Duck music. Oh no, this section is giving me Ghostbusters 2 video game vibes.
These graphic
They're all
swaps are
waiting for you, it's
adorable.
so hard to fight.
Why are there so many spikes in a courthouse? Woo!
I don't know. Why are there bottomless pits? I mean, I guess that's
Ongoing
the legal system.
token!
I know. I was
Okay.
trying to get back up there.
Ongoing construction.
That's terrible construction if it's filled with spikes. Oh no, it's the things that break in co-op.
At least it's not just rehashing Blade Man's layouts.
Honestly, the Darkwing Duck... Some of the Darkwing Duck themes were kind of lazy for Capcom games at the time. Not terrible, but they just feel kind of lazy. Darkwing Duck was one of their last, like, good Disney games, so hey. I was wondering if they're going to show up.
Yeah, shoot. When is the Investigations collection coming out?
I don't know.
remember.
Oh, this is going to be...
I mean, I'm mostly curious about the new character names. I feel like the ones in the fan translation really... They were just really good.
Don't know. Yay, health. Unfortunately, this level suffers from slow feeling because of these. These are not exactly the greatest gimmicks, the whole like seesaw thing. It's because they're slow.
I bet you they go a lot faster if I hadn't fallen in a pit.
Or if I didn't get lag killed there. Right before the checkpoint too.
Oh no.
Lag. Co-op speed run.
And not risking it with those guys.
Co-op works for that.
Ah!
Uh-oh. Well, until you fall off, at least.
I fell. Bye.
The speed. This would be an annoying level to Buster only.
Mm.
It's low. Boss must be unique enough because it got added to the like weapon skins thing.
Mm. Go left. Okay, birds. Oh, because Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. Of course it is. Get it. Okay. They speed run stuff for that is Rusty.
I suppose I should thank you for freeing me at last. While I was here, I managed to find some junk lying around, including this cardboard badge. The sheer audacity. Either way, I have no use for any of it. Take it what you will. No, it's Furio. It's Furio Tigre's badge.
Who?
The gangster from the third case of Trials and Tribulations.
Okay, I didn't think I was gonna hit those, but hey.
He he tried to get a computer virus programmed for him to sell to this no, yeah, he's a loan shark who got who lent this computer programmer some money, and like obviously he couldn't pay back because that's how this usually goes. Oh jeez. So in exchange, Tigre had him program a computer virus, and he was going to sell it when the victim won the lottery out of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
So Tigre just decides to poison the dude and blame it on the waitress, and he even goes as far as to hold a fake trial with himself posing as Phoenix Wright to get her found guilty.
Okay.
And he fools everybody with a cheap suit and a cardboard badge, because Phoenix just gets no respect at all.
Oh, okay then.
So then you have to do the appeal trial like a month later. Oh, it's Commando Man.
And it's still glitchy and hits both of us if it hits either of you. Stop that! They need to fix that with Commando Man. That is pretty bad.
We probably got time for one more level.
I have to let Amatsu know to let them know that Commando Man, if you get hit, it hits both players for some reason.
Huh, nice city backdrop. Off to a good start. I can clearly see where we're going to go next, so let me just slide through this start. And oh, my start! That's a death pit! That more or less sums up how the low start for me. It was one heck of an introduction. I'm glad we had the street. It's a good opportunity to introduce the police enemies, and it's great for setting the scene. I just wish that first transition was nicer. As for our main level, its single strongest point is absolutely its theming, being 100% courthouse with no real mechanical elements. And so it reminded me of Judgment.exe in the theming, but Judgment Man adopts different concepts. The Mets are now police officers, with a second type running around. Picket Man's a judge. Berserker's an awesome gavel. And it's topped off with security sprinklers, a couple of phoenixes, and scales to jump around on. Without a doubt, the theming here is phenomenal. Oh, that's why there were Blade Man platforms.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the strong theming is undercut by a lackluster execution. For specific enemy problems, the walking officers have a needlessly high fire rate, and Judge Pickett's main mix of shielding and high fire rate can really get dicey if there's not a lot of foot space around. For other enemies like the Beaks and Gavel Berserkers, the biggest issue is that they barely exist. I don't remember Beaks in one room period, and there's only 2 Berserkers in the entire level. Complete shame is those axes are fairly rare. Finally, assets like the Police Mets and the Screw Bombers have some difficulty issues. The Mets can get pretty infuriating if you struggle to snipe them in later portions, whereas the first Screw Bomber is arguably the most dangerous one in the level. On the gimmick side of things, the execution is a little more mixed. On one hand, the seesaws have more distinct scenarios like the vertical climbing sections, and I genuinely appreciate how much they belong here much more than they did in Blade Man's level. On the other hand, the low synergy between the enemy set and the seesaws means there's a lot of time spent just jumping on them with no real threat around. It can get pretty boring and has an adverse effect on the difficulty curve. Some more flying enemies would have done this place some good. Or even just use more of the cracked platforms, as those work better with who's already here. In general, the level's kind of middling. It's never actively unfair, but assets tend to be underutilized or kind of boring. On the boss end of things, the token mini-boss is a bit awkward. Suzuki and Phoenix aren't properly synced, so I can tell they weren't implemented correctly. Fortunately, the boss ends things on a good note. Judgment Man's Street Fireball has an annoyingly unclear telegraph, but he's otherwise a fine mutation of Commando Man. He's also a fair bit easier despite the full 3-attack moveset. Same number as Commando Man's hard mode. Considering how annoying Commando Man can be, I'm okay with that. For the most part, this is a perfectly average and middle-of-the-road level. If anything, I would say the stage's biggest strength is easily its theming. The courthouse look, while I feel is a bit plain, works well enough. There's a nice array of custom enemies, both in terms of functionality and related ones and reskins. That being said, I felt they rarely ever expose an actual threat outside of certain situations. Mainly, whenever you're on a seesaw, given there's inherently less room for error while you're on those things. At the very least, I can appreciate wanting to give the players something else to balance during those vertical seesaw segments, even if I'm not a fan of the actual enemy placement. That aside, most of the platforming here is very basic, which, with a lot of segments not offering much in terms of challenge or engagement. The final stretch is about the only part of the stage that's exempt from this, but does end up suffering a bit from the aforementioned issues with enemy placement related to the seesaws. And a bit with the first Screw Bomber ends up being a pretty severe difficulty spike because of this. Other than that, the only other major thing to talk about here is the end boss, so I'm glad that Judgment Man himself actually shows up. I'm not sure if Commando Man was the best choice to use as basis for his fight. As he is now, I found it a bit difficult to read his attacks properly. Especially when just suddenly lies projectile by casually pointing his gavel at you. Ultimately, as I said at the beginning of this review, this is a pretty average level that I felt didn't stand out too much on both the good or bad of the spectrum. Innocent or guilty, you be the judge. Actually a really cute short little stage. Taking place in the court setting, naturally some references to Ace Attorney would be snuck into it. The use of the seesaw platforms to represent the scale is actually pretty clever. The sprite work is pretty nifty for the most part. The harsh outline of some of the black outlines can sometimes get in the way of distinguishing standable ground, though. The music unfortunately gets a little repetitive with short loop. The biggest problem that sourced it for me is the huge tendency of falling off the seesaw platforms from getting hit by enemy projectiles, and having to reclimb a section can get rather irritating. The irritation is especially prominent for the last part with bottomless pits. Judgment Man has a really cool design. Actually has a pretty clever interpretation of the attacks to mask the fact he's a Commando Man reskin. Strong theming can elevate an entire level, and that's definitely the case here. The transition from delightful city scene to austere yet comfortable courthouse is excellent. All the enemies feel like they belong here. The reskin Pickle Man is especially clever, and even the generic beaks and screwdrivers feel like courthouse security robots. The Phoenix Wright references, plural, the mini-boss was not lost on me, add extra charm. Although the boss music doesn't segue well from the buoyantly fun main theme, Judgment Man himself is pretty righteous. The fight is solid, though some random invisible things explode when it's over. And I dig his Judge Dredd helmet and the gigantic scales behind him. Even the central gimmick of the level, hopefully deliberately, is reminiscent of the Scales of Justice. Good theming. Good theming. This, combined with very reasonable checkpoints and level length, makes up for some shortcomings in the challenge structure. There's a fair amount of fluff. Most seesaw segments allow you to dispatch enemies before they become a threat, leaving a lot of hollow hopping, or rush jetting, or magnet beating until the next challenge. More interactions with the underutilized assets, e.g. falling platforms and the Berserker Cavalry, have helped. Challenges tend to decrease in difficulty and complexity rather than increase. Compared to first met screen, it's the one immediately afterward. The beginning of the final stretch can be brutal. That is a tough seesaw and spike jump after the checkpoint. And the first screwdriver is a great challenge, but an awful introduction to the enemy. However, the level is still fun. It's nice to ride seesaws upward for a change. Enemy combat is enjoyable, never mind the Mets don't respawn, particularly with the unique architecture in the mini-boss room. Best of all, the theming captures a colorful character that I love about this series. I have to admit my biases. This stage has an uphill battle using the Playman platform gimmick. It might be one of my least favorite gimmicks and one of my least favorite classic stages. And I didn't hate it here. There were better usages of the gimmick in the contest, but I didn't hate it. The only real time it began to irritate me was that one segment near the end as the player has to pass by a screw bomber embedded in the ceiling. Maybe don't put enemies in spots like that. Other than that, the stage is a nice romp and there isn't a ton to drag it down. The few new assets work just fine. What looks like a jump-through platform is a jump-through platform, and what looks like a falling platform is a falling platform. And okay, so though the level doesn't particularly look in style with Mega Man in places, the background looks very Eurotrash NES style, and a tad more simplistic than is normal for any Mega Man game past 2. Some of the new enemy sprites look a bit weird, and I don't care, the stage looks adorable! Almost every enemy getting a law-themed rework is very much appreciated and helps the stage feel cohesive. It raises it up from having an out-style look to fitting the Mega Man universe. There's also a lot of nice little details such as doors, signs, windows, and of course the various Ace Attorney references. Judgment Man himself is a Commando Man rework, but you know, this is a really good Commando Man rework. If it weren't for how intimately I know Mega Man, I could have been fooled into thinking this was created whole hog. But even if he's a rework, he's still mechanically a new boss. He's pretty solid, even if he could have done with slightly better tells. The stage is all the better for having its original Robot Master there. Overall, I'd say we have an above-average Mega Man level that looks really cute. There's a few other complaints, but they're mostly aesthetic. Not replacing the Suzuki and Phoenix sprites means that the mid-boss sticks out from the stage like a sore thumb. I'm honestly not sure how they fit in outside of maybe being an Ace Attorney reference, in which case the resprite would help sell it. And on that note, I have one final complaint, the music. It's rather tinny and repetitive. I recognize it from the Capcom Darkwing Duck game, and it might be my least favorite track from that game. And it's one of Yasuaki Fujita's weaker NES tracks in my opinion.
Kind of what I was saying there, yeah.
But also, you have all these Ace Attorney references. Why in God's green earth did you not use Ace Attorney music? You know full well Ace Attorney's bombastic music would fit Mega Man to a T. Some even showed up in MaGMML 1 as a boss theme in Neon Gravity for crying out loud. It doesn't have to be NES style if you can't find covers. Early Ace Attorney music even sounds retro. I'm baffled. I'm well and truly baffled by this choice.
Yeah, the objection music would have been perfect for the boss.
Alright. Check it out, it's the Jumbotron. Oh, Patchy's favorite stage. Hit the jackpot. 25% time penalty. This could have won. Maybe.
Whoa.
Patchy's bronze favorite.
That's a lot of tokens.
A Toad House? Okay. And there's no box. I'll just take whatever's there, I guess. I'm contractually obligated to welcome you to the Top Hat Palace. Please feel free to tell the boss I sent you. I need that bonus.
I guess.
Wonder what's above.
Houses.
I guess.
I think. Ah! Little tiny spot of lag mid jump. Yeah, they are. Oh no, no! Oh, I missed.
Yeah, Ace Attorney 1 was a Game Boy Advance game, originally. Came out in 2001. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe came out in, like, 2018, I think.
Oh no! Ow, I slid into the thing. Ah! That's a tight slide.
Going up, huh? No.
Token!
Woogie woogie!
Casino!
Now,
Whoa! Whoa!
Dojo, casino. It's all in the mind. 7! Oh, this is probably for a token.
It didn't go off.
Because we didn't roll triple sevens.
No, I mean, no, I don't think that's for an actual token.
I
mean, it
guess
might
we'll
be,
find. Oh, jeez! Ah.
I think it was just introducing the mechanic.
It would have been cool if rolling triple sevens they'd get something like, I don't know, 1-up or a Yashichi.
Well, if there was something there, it's not now. Yep. Bye!
Yeah, the compass hasn't pinged. Oh, nice! Got Wizard, Suzuki, Phoenix. Ow.
That's a lot of contact damage.
Pujigamagi! Ooh! Whoa. I just got a big lag spike there.
What?
Parsec froze.
Parsec froze?
Parsec froze and my controller will not stop rumbling.
Bad when you have some lag.
It still hasn't stopped rumbling. Anyway, reconnecting.
That is kind of hard to time a little bit. Ah! Can you do it with your lag? Yay!
Drummer. Ah, jeez, took you long enough. Got locked in here by mistake, and now I gotta get to my next post.
drummer. What do you mean?
I am used to rhythm-based challenges. You might even say I'm really good at them.
I mean, if it's music, I'm good at it, but...
Whoops!
Ow. Uh-oh.
The scroller!
Okay.
Stuff.
Slight lag spike pushing me off.
Ooh! Ooh, plushie. No! Whoops. That works. I dig the tile work here.
Cherries. More cherries. I don't think they drop anything.
Hmm.
I was hoping they would drop some health or something, but... Whoa!
Lemon. Look out for the guy.
Nut.
1,
Wait.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hi. Oh, it's Pachinko. Clever. You got this.
Mario Sunshine feelings intensify.
Yeah.
Stop it. No.
Yay. A winner is you.
Long level.
Mm-hmm. Ah, welcome, Bastion. So nice of you to drop by. I, the great token woman, congratulate you for winning the jackpot. What is the prize, you ask? My darling, it is but a fated battle with yours truly. Now prepare yourself, for we shall put on the greatest show the city will ever witness.
Ah! Ah! She delayed her jump.
Oh, there she goes. Ah. Nice. Going up. If you're wondering, my expression is that of someone who just fell into a giant pachinko machine. My last job didn't go so well, but I know my skills as a pachinko game dev are good enough to keep me in a job. Well, just look at that happy customer coming out of the Toad House. Her expression says it all.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
If you ask me, the City Wars series moving on to pachinko movements was... lol. Actually, I take that back. City War is doomed.
What?
I have no idea. You gotta go left.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah.
Maybe we never should have switched these to digital. I bet Light hacked them again to distract the boss, right, Bastion? Might have a job. And that's the last one. Sorry, Bastion, for getting a drop on you. Orders from the boss. That was fun.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. A capsule, what could it be? It is Tiny Tim's sibling horde. What?
I have no idea.
What? Is that like a Christmas Story Mega Man game? What's that supposed to mean?
I had no idea. When I booted up the level, I was underwhelmed. Sure, the statues are cool, but they looked out of place in Mr. X Stage 1. The super crowns are annoying. Then I went through the screen transition and a whole new casino stage? What? Honestly, I wish we started with these visuals. It's a very...
Okay, I'll have to remember that the next time.
It's a very jarring transition, to say the least. The actual level is great, first impression aside. Gambling-themed gimmicks have simple concepts, but their execution is clever and they make the most of their screen time. The slot wall in particular is just... It works very well with off-screen spike walls aside, and the jackpot rewards are a neat concept. The gambler enemies are also strong concepts and are mostly used well. But I really wish the Super Crowns had more variety to their scenarios. The bounce pads and wall blaster felt boring, at least compared to everything else. Otherwise, though, the overall experience is a joy to play. The bosses here are no slouch. While the Magician's healing can be annoying, they're otherwise an excellent mutation to the Suzuki and Phoenix fight. And I like that they have visible health bars. Token Woman, though, is a highlight. Her attacks are fun and frantic to dodge, and she has an excellent balance between her defense and her vulnerability time. My only complaint is the difficulty curve. Her Oddjob hat is much harder to dodge than her lever attack. For some Final Comics, I like the ideas behind Token 2 and 4. The latter all but forces a replay if you mess up, but the final token's hidden hiding place is too obtuse, and Token 3 can be obnoxious if your timing sucks. Jackpots work better as cute rewards, not as challenges required for 100% completion. I'm also a bit nervous about the Toad House music, considering we're talking about the big N here. Beyond that, though, this is a solid level, and I hope folks appreciate it as much as I do. Considering what we made one of our main collectibles this time around, I probably should have expected more than a few casino levels to show up. As far as this one goes, while there are a few minor issues, I found this to be an entertaining stage with a lot going for it. The level structure is pretty decent overall. Gimmicks and enemies are introduced well, and the platforming steadily builds up from there. That said, I did find most of the stage to be rather easy. I don't even have any water in here. None of the sections really tripped me up that much, with the exception of a few parts during the second auto-scrolling segment, mostly due to how close certain hazards were together. By my own admission, I usually get bored pretty quickly with easy levels. That didn't end up being the case here. I mostly attribute that to the overall theme and how it was done up. It's a great example of how even reskins of vanilla assets can go a long way for your level, as well as leaving a better lasting impression. I'd say the only visual element that falls a bit short is the transition between the first two screens and the rest of the stage. That sudden shift between the Mr. X tiles and the custom tiles is pretty odd at first. With those aspects aside, I don't have too many complaints about the rest of the level. From the aesthetics to the side content, there's a lot to love here. One of the main highlights was the Soup Brothers mini-boss. Even though they're built off of vanilla mini-boss, they have enough tweaks in the form of minor custom attacks plus visual flair, which sets them apart from the typical Suzuki and Phoenix battle. The slots gimmick was another big highlight, although I almost wish there was a bit more than it than just summoning minor enemies if you get anything but a 7. It feels like a gimmick that has a lot of untapped potential for more interesting effects based on what you roll. Lastly, we have the boss. Token Woman's in a decently enjoyable fight. I'm not too much of a fan of how often he goes off screen, which is every other attack. Granted, this is slightly mitigated by the fact that you can destroy the giant ships to speed things up a bit, which I do appreciate. That aside, I still had a fun time with her fight and dodging through projectiles, especially the ones generated from the hat toss attack. Overall, it's a pretty good note to end on for a level that's just fun to breeze through for both the main path and the side content. Also, as a side note, I'd like to personally nominate Toadman as the best NPC in any of these user-submitted levels. I got a kick out of seeing him the first time, so I have to give a lot of kudos for that. Aim for the everlasting grand prize! Whoa, an 89!
Jeez, yeah, if this wasn't late, this would have been much higher.
Yeah. There have been a few casino-themed entries in this contest, and I had to say, this one has to be my favorite of that bunch. It has a nice pacing, doesn't depart too far from the normal Mega Man gameplay, but still manages to keep the experience refreshing, with energetic music to boot and fun little Easter eggs and secrets. The tile set is quite well done too, and I also like the custom enemy sprites. The aesthetics are absolutely stellar in this. I really enjoy the changes made to the Phoenix mini-boss with more varied attacks and a little quality of life feature where the remaining one immediately dives down to let you shoot him. The slot gimmick is simple, but works well enough as an obstacle, especially during the auto-scrolling sections, where it's still very much possible time for those lucky 7s, which is not even mandatory to do unless you want some free tanks. Pretty nice incentive for rewards. Token Woman is also a neat fight, also faithful to the stage. Simple in pattern, yet fun nonetheless. It's appreciated that she has a mild weakness to normal buster shots to make up for spending time away from most of her token falling attack. Overall, a really fun and excellent stage, and it's always a treat to come back to play it. Challenge is crafted with care, theming that's reinforced by every aspect of the design, and a referential sense of humor that enhances the experience more often than not. Yeah, I'd say this level hits a pretty respectable jackpot. New concepts are introduced and combined at a comfortably gradual pace. The first stretch is solid, but the level really finds its identity once the action moves indoors. A mini-boss, rolling poker chips, sneaky metal setups, and thoroughly well-implemented all-scrolling up the ante in surprising and exciting ways. The roulette gimmick is one of my favorite things in the contest, and I love how dice and card suits are worked into the decor. Misspelled. Superb graphics and a catchy soundtrack make this a very appealing place to explore. I got a great laugh out of Toadman, and the mushroom houses are a nicely consistent place to hide the tokens. I have a couple logistical reservations about the pachinko machines, but I like their inclusion. I feel like I'm missing some inside jokes with Neo and Sarisa. Special weapons reveal a handful of oversights. Every weapon can stop the roulette gimmick, but only a buster gets a confirmatory auto queue. Getting a 777 isn't the only way to access that one token. The cleverly named Token Woman didn't do quite enough to discourage sniping her from atop the right wall, and she'll fall into the left wall if you hang out above it long enough. My only other complaints are related to Token Woman. For instance, she looks too human for a robot, and I have to sit through her dialogue before every rematch. Still, she puts up a good fight, and that's what counts. Something similar goes for the rest of the level. Any complaints I have don't matter nearly as much as the creativity, fair difficulty, fun atmosphere, polished architecture, and perfect length. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Gee, I wonder whose level this is. Interesting that the level starts off unassuming with the graphics, only to turn it up a notch when you enter the stage proper. Now the slot machine gimmick here, it's simple but very nifty. Just a nice, clean gimmick idea. The use of other dev kit assets help to spice things up. I'm always a sucker for when they've been rejigged, such as the mid-boss being a spruced-up Suzuki and Phoenix. And a fair bit of mileage was gotten out with this Pyrobot reskins. There's a rather unfortunate safe spot in the mid-boss that kind of ruins the challenge. Their hitboxes were slimmed down a tad too much. I spent a while trying to get a few of the tokens in the stage. I'm admittedly awful at the one hidden by trying the triple slot machine gimmick, but now maybe it's just down to my disability issues, but I could also cheese it by using a tornado blow. I don't know if it was intentional, but I am super glad it's there. And the last token in the level was devious. Admittedly, placing it after the boss is a tad harsh on a player who doesn't think that passage is going to be there, like myself. The other basically requiring a level restart should you fall. Also a tad harsh on the player who gets bounced out of the way at the last second, like myself. Token 1 was interesting, although her opening coins everywhere attack was a bit spammy and luck-based for my taste, so she ends up being a bit on the hard side. Just a nice solid performance all around, really. Not up there with the top tier stages, but most certainly qualifies for this game's namesake.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a really cool level. What the heck?
I broke it. There was something.
There was something there.
Not. Not that. I want to see what's there at least before we stop for the night.
Yeah.
But what if we're gonna run into Blade in this, like a Blade reference? Maybe I'm too old.
Ah, there's nothing. Oh wow.
Weird.
You... Glurg.
A
The
book for
plushie
plushies.
compendium.
Where is it? There it is. Oh yeah, from Mega Man 4.
Yeah. Dreamwave
Mega Man,
Comics.
Dreamwave Comics. Alan is a Mega Man character. Citation needed. Mega Man ZX. Rockman Forte.
Challenger from the future.
Conroe Man. From this game. James Pond. Mega Man Ram. Mega Man's Christmas Carol 3. It is the Mega Man Christmas Carol. I have to find that to play that around Christmas then. Mega Man Battle Network Cross Reflection.
Never heard of it.
Falling Stars. Famicom Disk System. Bionic Commando Rearmed. Zero Ranger.
Huh.
Chef Medea. Okay. Alright, well I guess that'll be it for now.
Good times. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with maybe Xenoblade, maybe Dave. I haven't decided. I'll figure it out.
Okay. I will be back on Monday with more trails through Daybreak. And then Tuesday, maybe more of this. We'll see. And Sleepy Husky on the couch.
Sleepy Husky. Hello, Mishka. Or
Other
Luna.
Sleepy Husky is down here, or she was.
Hi, puppies.
No, she's like, I want belly rubs.
It's Luna.
You can see. There she is. Kind of.
Hello, Luna. Hello,
see her
Luna.
belly. There she is.
Hi, puppy.
That's the husky
Puppy.
that's been really annoying. Because she is still a puppy.
Oh my gosh, puppy. He's a puppy, puppy,
She
puppy.
is still a puppy.
Puppy, puppy, puppy.
She's just about she's like just a year old or so.
Hi,
She is
puppy.
annoying. What you doing? My wolf is sleeping probably in the other room because the husky keeps pestering her. But yeah, I'll be back Monday, Tuesday. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Stay well, be well. See you next time. Again, I don't have the key, so Mega Man. Bye bye.